pretty nicely here as well. I'm still in Target, and I was actually thinking about now. Whoa, what the hell? Okay.
What the hell is even that?
When I saw Walmart just tank city there, I thought Target would have been south of 140 right there. But you want to talk about a winner versus a loser, man. Target got that W and Walmart got that L behind it right now, because this name is just blast city there for Target. Like I like Walmart. I may just get out of Target and try to grab some Walmart, but you could clearly see this stock versus the other. They are not made equally right there. This is what Walmart looks like. Walmart down 30% or 20, 25% from its highs. Meanwhile, Target is flipped upside down on that one. Just ripping right there through some of these highs. So Target, man, great opportunity there. And I know they get a lot of my money every time we are down south. And a name that these guys might want to look at just for some interest there, IonQ, has just ripped. Yeah, look at this one, man. $35 up to 40, up 10% right there as Quantum.
That was on the watch list.
Yeah, Quantum being talked about. Yeah, that's what Sharif was mentioning there about the levered ETFs. And IBM, my favorite Quantum play next to Google, IBM. So watch out for that.
I think it was on Friday, the CEO of IBM, maybe it was Thursday, the CEO of IBM came out and said it will be a material difference maker to our revenues by 2028. That's a big deal. That's a big deal for IBM if that ends up being true. Trust me, that is as real as it gets for any name out there, and you haven't really heard any substantive talk about that. So yeah, IBM, great play.
I spy with my little eye Brendan in the background. So what's up to Brendan there?
On camera for the first time in a bit.
You get that, Where's Waldo? You know, where you're trying to find the Where's Waldo? I found him over there. So what's up to Brendan and Sia and everybody? You're about to get ready to rock and roll with the midday crew. So, all right, good show today.
We got to make our own lunch.
That's right. We got to find lunch today. So yeah, go out there. We'll find out what Neil's gonna get. We'll find out what I'm gonna get.
I went to that shawarma place last time.
I like that shawarma.
Across the street.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. They have little poke bowls and stuff right here. It's pretty good.
Oh, from the
one that used to be the Freshie, right beside the Tim Hortons.
What are they called again?
It's called Roll Nation or Rolltation.
Rotation.
You like that too, right, Adara?
I enjoy a good rotation moment. Yes, I've already ordered my food though, so.
What are you getting?
Eviva, because I'm basic and I like a good Benedict moment.
Yeah, that's my, shout out to my lovely wife, is always getting a Benedict wherever we go. All right, ciao to everybody. We'll see you. We'll talk about lunch then. These guys over here, no carbs, guys. Nope. See you later.
I gotta mute that bad boy. Boom, 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 boom.
G is back.
Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, that's crazy.
Okay, go like this.
What is that? A rocket launcher?
Shoulder lock. Come on, Joey, we're in the middle of a war, bro. Get it together.
Rocket launcher.
Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the Midday Show. That's your boy, Joey Options. I'm Sharif. I see a lot of old names in there. My main man, Adam DeLuce. Adam, 2 weeks. And I'm going to be in jolly old London. I cannot wait. I haven't been back since 2009, since I graduated. So I'm super pumped for this. Shout out to Ginvesting, Micron Millionaire, Scott H, Hangry Wife, 420, Bud Monster. He knows I'm going to be there, man. I reached out to the Bud Monster.
You calling old? Oh, that's crazy.
Who? They calling us old, Joey?
No, Casey.
Shoulder-mounted launcher. Casey is like, okay, I'm going to stay quiet. Mike PD Rider, Shang Official, Commodity King. We got Bovin, frickin' Patel, Shang Official, Blicky Spears in the house. Shout out to my man Ronaldo, Mimi Wasabi, Valencia, Aztec Trader. Love that. AJ Easy, shout out to Dino Abadini. And then Mr. Coco Zed, Day Trades and Dividends. Oh, he's a dividend aristocrat like yourself. And then I am here declaring his presence is Luis Barbado from the Real Trading Office in Barcelona, Spain. And one of my favorite people, shout out to the dude, Ben Affleck. We got Snowmeister, Trust Fund Baby, and Madhu, 4545. We got Ivo Seg, Anurag, Durant Gordon as well. Shout out to Tren X. Oh, okay, Tren. Come on, you gunners, yells out Benton. Benton, I heard the Bruno Guimaraes deal might be on a bit of a pause as the Vinny deal seems to be maturing a little bit. This is going to be such an interesting transfer window for the Gunners. Ticker Tantrum, Crypto Banks. Shout out to Chuck of All Trades and KC526. She's looking at LNAI. She looks, I look. Let's see. Breakout there. I like it, Case, but low volume. We're going to keep an eye out on that one. But just before we send it to Joey, I have to bring your attention to one that is moving and moving fast, so it cannot wait. RITR up 400 beautiful percent, and here it comes into the high of the day. 29.70 is the high, Katina, man. It is putting in lower highs, but we're looking for a breakout there through 30. Ritter, look, Ritter is holding structure very simply. Area resistance holds a support. Area resistance holds a support. That is all I'm looking for. Let's see if we can get up to 50 pennies on Ritter, Joey. Sorry, I just gave that everyone super quick because it was it was breaking out.
All right, man.
Good morning,
good,
brother.
good stuff. Mr. Love Shack stating he will teach you how to hold the launchers.
Oh, well, I do need practice
You need the
because I do not have my
yeah,
license. So I kind of, I'm a little
use it
wishy-washy
on the launcher,
there.
man. I've never imagined doing that around with
Vegas.
cars.
Vegas,
you
baby.
could probably,
Yeah.
that would be an expensive one, though. You
I
could probably
bet.
hit the tank or something.
Yeah.
I bet that's an expensive
go,
round.
baby.
All right, but we will not forget our good friends over there on TikTok. Who do we have in the chat?
it.
Obviously, Bravely, our
Get it,
TikTok
Bravely.
moderator, is also in the YouTube chat as well. Juicy J. Oh, remember those days?
Juicy J.
Entrepreneur. Desato,
Crazy.
what's
No,
going
come on,
on?
Ritter's
And
blocked.
we have Vanessa, Sam, Jay Lee, T.I. Vince, C. Whoa,
Get it, Ritter.
Lab Same, Zeke. Oh,
Who?
that was my old dog's name. Zeke.
Nice.
Yeah, peace. Patrick Brook, Mass DJ, Jose Moreno, Chucky, Mr. Gotham,
Get it,
and a
Chucky.
couple more. Kim, Stagin,
Texas
and
Jets
Jack Jones, Texas Jets fan, everyone
back,
in the chat.
baby.
Mr. Love, I'm in New Hampshire. You don't need to go that far. All right, brother Gary. All of the love in the chat today, man. Love it all. And
Love it, bro.
man, I'm excited to bring you guys a couple of things. But first things first, we're gonna get into some of our trades and what we have on the radar today. Man, what a move we've seen in NVDA, a complete recovery, guys. Gabe, that's crazy, man. Why do you gotta say something like that? But anyway, 206.
I gotta show that though. That is funny, bro.
206.49 with a high of around 207. Man, listen, we were trying to, Lewis, they're right beside me right now. I figured we'd take them off here for today. But first, let me talk about what we have going on. A nice recovery across
Ritter's
the board.
ripping.
I was talking about this in the pre-market. I love when I see the NASDAQ and some of the other underlyings trading below the volume-weighted average price just before the open. Boom. And then you get this nice move up here today, guys. But also, we took 3 attempts, or 3 at-bats here on IBIT, looking for that move back. Boom. I should have been out here, but again, this was my smallest position. We tried again on the backside of this trade here. No go. And we tried for a 3rd time. So we struck out at the plate. Those were my only 3 trades here for that move back in towards the volume weighted average price for Bitcoin. But the reason why I stopped, I'm like, okay, let me give one more attempt here, was this massive isolated volume signature, all right? So this was making things a little bit more difficult. That's why I had to wait to see if we were gonna top out. And we took the trades, but they didn't pan out for us. But plenty of time left throughout the day. Amazon is bull flagging at the volume weighted average price, and we're continuing to grind higher here in NVDA. So plenty of opportunities across the board. In worst case scenario, you guys know how we do. We head over to the small cap land. We have Fuse, we have KC526 Bubbin, all calling that name out here today. So there's enough to trade. We just have to wait for the right opportunity for our style to get involved with some high quality chances.
There's my man. I like that. I like hearing that patience, Joey. Joey, we're involved in Ritter, okay? We got 29s on, and we're looking for a little bit more. I'm thinking 33s, probably, you know, a rough area of resistance, being the $1/3 of a dollar, of course. We've already got a couple of beak wetters, but as you'll see there on the white charts, I've got dip trades set up for this one because I want to defend in the structure. As I made my point very clear, I feel this one is in a stair-step up pattern where it makes an area high and then kind of maybe either sells off, consolidates a little bit like you're seeing here. The 650 pop drops, set them up, open up shop, right around that 10 penny area, breaks again. And the good thing about this is the area resistance of the prior area high is acting as support for the local area low. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for here. I'm looking for to build a position between 22 pennies to 28 pennies. I've got 29s on right now. I've taken a couple of profit takers. Ideally, this dips in you know, into the mid-20s, fills me with some more shares, and then goes along its merry way, maybe into 50 pennies. But, you know, I don't really know how the cookie's going to crumble, so we're going to try to make some contingency plans here. But I like to look at Ritter's jib, especially as compared to the jibs of all these other names, which I'm kind of displeased with. All right, so I said jib enough there, Jeff. Shout out to my man, INHD Bet. Remember, we already settled it, Luis. What did Luis get? He finished last, didn't he? Wasn't he last?
No,
Sean. Sean said 0.
Yeah,
Sean said
350.
INHD is going to open up 0.
What is he trying to
You
say
finished
over here?
last. You
No, I
said
didn't.
350.
Yeah, but the lowest number would finish last because
Katina Man.
Yeah. Katina Man.
Katina Man said OTC markets at 0. Sorry. There goes Ritter into 34 pennies. Here's 36 options, man. We're taking more. We're looking to take names. 39 pennies now is where I'm looking. Ritter's on its horse. It wants 50 pennies. I know you want 50 pennies, Ritter. Let's go. RITR into the upside. If you don't have any compunction about trading these small cap gappers, then, you know, this one is a beautiful one. There's 37, Katina Man, and it's looking better and better every time I look at this thing. RITR, the breakout's on. I'm thinking 50. Can't quite see what limit up is at the moment. So we're going to pack the patience. Brother, you know, I get you're loosening up the shoulder. I get that. But the motion is interesting. Think about that.
Oh, boy. But no,
you,
my
brother,
man.
but,
Chill out,
you know.
man. Chill. Yo, my guy. That's what you have to do when you have 10
Come on,
That's
my guy.
crazy, my
Like,
boy.
if I was doing that, you'd be all over me. You know for a
days,
fact
mate.
you'd be all over me if I did that right now.
You're bugging, my guy. That's crazy.
Hold on.
What's
Hold
up,
on.
Katina?
What do you
What's
mean,
easy, bro?
DMX? What happened to DMX?
Bro show in full effect. Yeah, man. That's what we're here for, man.
Hold on. What happened to DMX? People are saying rest in peace, DMX.
He's been gone, no?
I don't understand why we're talking about that.
Gone.
Bro. Like, I was about to say, I'm like,
oh, man.
Texas Jet fan, Joe rocking, so fresh, so clean. You're getting love in the chat. But let's get to the super chat. On the Rail TV, he dropped 5 nice ones in the chat. We're going to take him to that. Guys, look at what happened to Nvidia at the 37 RSI past few years. 10% bounce within 2 to 3 weeks. Save this tip. I bought at 190 last week.
Save the
so
tip,
on
man.
the Rail TV, I just want to give you a round of applause because that's exactly what I've been saying to him every single time. He looks at Nvidia and he's like, look at this thing, man, you know, and then he's angry
And then
that it's at the bottom end of the range, and I keep showing him that it's holding structure, and he doesn't like it, right? He wants it, you know, he wants it at 250, 260, and I get that.
No, not yet, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. I think Nvidia just has been holding range whether we like it or not. So that's a look there. Shout out to Commodity King. You said stop, drop. Oh, yeah, my bad, brother. I did. I just, I neglected to realize that. But Ritter, coming back down in a little bit, Joey, I think we got a 37.60 penny high, and we're down into 34s now. I've got some dip trades here to hold up the breakout or right around
Good
20.
stuff. Yeah, well, we can pull up that super chat one more time, man. Here it is. We're trading at like 18 times. You know what I mean? So I like this name a lot. Yeah, exactly. What a deal. And that's why I continuously buy it. We're back up to 5 trillion over there, Sharif.
MG?
What's Apple looking like at that 5 trillion? Oh, so there goes the horse. There goes the horse race between the largest company on the planet, between Apple and NVDA. But yeah, guys, let's see what else we got going on. Maybe we just keep an eye out on that one and see what opportunities lay there. I was looking at the NASDAQ this morning, and on the 5-minute time frame, I'm like, what are we doing? It was lagging as NVDA and some of the other Meta was ripping this morning as well, too. The TQs were slightly behind everything, and I'm like, oh, could this be a good opportunity? But we never pulled the trigger on it, especially on this beautiful volume-weighted average price hold, and then off to the races it goes, giving you that good over-under play. Perfect almost, right? So we can see what was once resistance clearly acted as support, and then off to the races it went. So you're over up a percentage point today, and now we have this bull flag forming on Amazon. Like oh my days, it's looking pretty good in the stock market. Now, all-time high on Amazon as well. I was mentioning that last week. I'm like, it's only a matter of time, and it happened significantly quicker than what I was expecting. But I think the same thing is going to happen for this name right here, Microsoft. And I know we were kicking it when it was down, including myself. Full disclosure, I wasn't giving it credit where credit was due. Now you have Copilot gaining 10 million paid subscribers over the quarter. The investments are paying out really well. I think we're on a trajectory where we can say, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a rotation into some of these stronger software names and we see an all-time high in the coming weeks, maybe in a month or so, of Microsoft. They're only down 13%. And this is a name that has not done much over an extended period of time. So if people start buying it up, then by all means, watch out for a nice market rally here on MSFT. And let's see what it's trading from a PE standpoint, MSFT. See if it's relatively cheap. Yeah, right.
Bro, is it close to all-time highs again or no?
Microsoft? It's only 13%.
Off all-time highs?
Yeah. But I mean, like, think about it. It was down 30, 40% not too long ago, right? Like, this thing is ridiculously cheap right now. So, I mean, just keep an eye out for a pretty strong run. And that can most definitely help add a rally into the market as well, too. You have two of the largest market capitalization names going on an additional run, and then that's where you see those. I like what Mitch talks about, the leaders and laggards. I think we can look at Microsoft and Amazon as those potentials because it's only a matter of time until we see an all-time high in MSFT.
Enterprise customers. There we go. I was just responding to you, Crouching Tiger. I think it's the enterprise. At least that's what Nadella said on the last call. You know, he said it was definitely picking up in terms of usage, but it's not really a retail thing like you and I are using Chat or Claude. I think he's trying to take the Anthropic kind of moat and just go straight to enterprise, straight to B2B, higher margins. We'll see how he does with it, man. But, you know, he has a little bit of a delayed start here in terms of some of the other frontier models. All right, guys, look, let's get right down to work. MGN. This has a pre-market high at 5:35 a.m., which is 23.80. It just got to the official high of the day of 19.20. I'm talking pennies, not dollars here, okay? The pickings are slim in terms of any small cap gappers above the dollar today. There are some, but there's also a lot of leveraged ETFs, which I ideally would like to stay away from because they're not pure play small cap gappers. They are momentum names, given their leverage and given the fact that they're basically shadowing a name that's already strong. So momentum it is, but if I can control it, I'd stay away. Now, Ritter coming back down, that's okay because as long as it holds structure, and by holding structure, I'm talking about it using the prior area of resistance as a general intraday support level. So you can see here, we had very few in the way of any prints on the top 1 minute chart here above 28 pennies. But my kind of observation has been in the past that when the breakout level is, say, like 28 pennies, 29, and it's close to that 10 penny area, oftentimes the support level will be the 10 penny area. In this case, I'm talking about 30. So it probably behooves me to throw in something just a little bit above 30, you know, lest I miss it. So we're going to go 30.05. We're going to put a dip trade in and around there on Ritter. Now, I've done nothing here with MGN, and that's because I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the pre-market highs, which in fact had more volume than the volume we're putting in right now. Let me just make the case to you guys. Pardon me. MGN. You know, this, if you were up, 5 a.m. or your algo was up at 5 a.m. and it was trading this, it had an ample amount of liquidity. Just by way of example, that 5 a.m. candle, 7.7 million shares. How about the 5:05 a.m. candle, Katina, man? 15.5 million shares. To say there was ample liquidity in the pre-market is an understatement. The problem is we have these areas of resistance, right? Look at that topping tail candle at 6:45, the high of which is 19.19. Guess where we just got to? 19.20. And now we're dropping back down. So I want to see a clearing, a decisive clearing of 20 pennies. That helps me rest a little bit easier here, that we've taken out local area highs. It doesn't mean we've taken out all the highs of the pre-market. That 5:35 a.m. print, that's 23.80. So we're still markedly below that. So we're going to keep a close eye here on MGN because I wouldn't mind, executing on both Ritter and MGN. They're both sub $1 names. They're both triple-digit winners. These are the leading gappers in the market as we speak, but they may not fit your profile here as they are, very cheap names, and a lot of people dislike that. So that's a look there. All right, let's get to the 38 Hong Kong dollar. What do you think of Palantir today after earnings? 140 question mark. Will you guys cover it? I'm dialed in for the next 6 hours. I could be up $10,000 on a swing trade. And let me just say personally, I hope you print up multiple storms, Brendan, because you know when you guys do well, we do well in terms of viewership. So that's just the way it works. Okay, I want everybody on the other side of the screen to do well. I really do. And that's just an honest opinion. So look, we're going to cover Palantir, but I got to say that going into earnings is always a bit of a wild card. All right? There could be good, there could be bad. It is inherently dangerous a proposition in and of itself. Now, having said that, I really want to point out the fact that I think Palantir is a fantastic company, but I also want to point out there are a lot of social headwinds that Palantir has to deal with now. It is raising the ire of more left-leaning politically individuals, and I think it's become a target for them. So you need to be careful with that, okay? Because they're making noise about Palantir in a way that I haven't seen, at least in the initial couple of years when this thing was moving up. It's becoming a political hot potato. Just be alive to that. I'm not saying it's bad company, though. All right, go ahead, Joe.
All right, good stuff. Yeah, let's hop on Palantir. Let's do a little due diligence on this because it was actually on our options list bright and early this morning, guys. So if you were paying attention, I do like the fact that you brought up this $140 marker because we found a concentration of negative gamma about 10 points lower. First things first, let's take a look at our expected move and where it's predicting. 140. It looks like you have something bang on here. 10.4% expected move after the bell, ladies and gentlemen. So keep an eye out on this one. This is a pretty good look. Why? Because this is going to correlate. Things may have changed since the open because I have not looked at the actual underlying since then. So let's head over to our options chain and pull this bad boy up. And yeah, I'll take a look momentarily as well to see if there's any other big names. I know Adair's probably got that on lock for after the bell, but I do believe Palantir is going to be the biggest one here today. Now, this is what I was looking at, right? So you can see that we have this supply zone at $130, 23,000. This has actually grew substantially since after the open, all right? So this might be a level where we might run into a little bit of resistance. Why? We have 11,000 contracts. You can just see where all the activity is really starting to play out, okay? So it's definitely at this specific strike price, 23,000 contracts open with 11,000 open and closed, almost 12,000 at this point open and closed already on today's session. And then we can see the drastic uptick in implied volatility, all right? So we were looking at around 100% here this morning, and then now we're up to 132. Okay, so just keep an eye out on this one. And how is the actual underlying performing here today? I think it's really important to know, and it's an observation that I've made over the past couple of quarters. It's how is the stock performing leading up? Not just only the day of, but leading up to the earnings report. And you know what, Sharif? This is what's really intriguing me at this point is that starting today, bright and early Monday morning, we have a nice little run on NVDA. There's a structural resistance zone here within a downtrend line. But don't forget, we're reporting at the end of the month in this name. So if the street really likes this, I wouldn't be surprised if you see a slight buy program from now till then, and then you wait for the earnings report. But back to Palantir, things aren't looking too bad right now. Just keep an eye out for this $130 marker.
All right, there goes MGN. We have 18s on. We just wet the beak into 20.5. We're looking for the breakout. This is the official high a day. Again, it has been higher in the pre, but we did take out a local area high, which was 19.2. Official high a day, 20 pennies, 93. I'm looking for 21 here. Here comes 20.93. Again, this is the high of the day, 95. We don't have any prints above 93 quite yet. That remains the official high a day. So I'm looking for the breakout trade here, man. I told y'all, MG on its horse into 21. 21.5 incoming. I'm waiting at 21.5. I'm waiting at 22s. I'm waiting at 22.5. Let's see, 21.4 showing up. There it goes. 5 options, man. Ooh. We're looking for 22s now. Nice. And then we're looking for 22.5. So MGN, the breakout's on. It's holding structure in a similar way that RITR was, although RITR, Ritter, I'll just call it Ritter, is kind of dropping a little bit now, but that's all right. We have a plan for that one. We were looking to DCA more into the 20s. So MGN is the breakout. Here comes 22. We got 21.8s showing up, but there's no continuation now. That is the high of the day, 21.80. And again, I'm talking pennies. This is a good look up. Bovin is talking about TAOP. Just going to look at that super quick on my top screen over here. But I have to focus on this one at the moment, as now it's coming back down south of 21. So we're going to look at that. How is my Ritter doing? We added into this like a psycho, Joey. Now we're looking for 36.5. 37.60 is the high of the day. This one seems to really struggle for whatever reason at around 36 pennies. 35, now 8.36 options, man. We're a little bit above 36 here. There we go. We're going to wet the beak here. Good look on Ritter. Down goes MGN into 20. Looking for it to hold structure. Structure to me shows 17 support. So it loses 17, I'm out. But we did take out a nice portion here, but we're still holding. So, you know, I ideally do not want to get stopped out. Let's see if this one can hold structure and kind of work its way into 25. I was thinking 25 pennies here. You know, you get into 21.80. My spidey sense starts looking at the $0.25. Maybe my spidey sense is off, but that's what I'm looking at, Joey. I'm also looking at Ritter through 36.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, Gore, I'm not sure what, I mean, we have a pretty good bull flag forming on Amazon. I've been talking about that for the last little while. Palantir is selling into the earnings port. We don't necessarily love that, but I mean, anything can happen. It's a coin flip when it comes to either just going on a nice little rally or starting to come back in. So keep your eyes on that. Meta also putting in some work here today as well, too, ladies and gentlemen. Good dip buy there from Katina Man himself on that Google Play. And I'm like, you know what, man, dude, listen, I think he's like 320. I'm like, oh, man, I wouldn't be surprised if we seen like 310, 300, and I'm going to look to grab some more, but way to pull the trigger on that one. Credit where credit is due, and then 372 all the way up there. We were buying some in 350, but yeah, Google's on an absolute run. So I mean, hey, yeah, I know. I would like to grab a little bit more. I think that was a good opportunity.
I think that's a good idea, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna. You guys, I've been saying.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna grab a little bit more here because I mean we're sitting on a good amount of cash. At some point, you will be able to get the price that you want. You just have to be patient enough. But this is what I'm talking about here, an META. I might grab a little bit of more Meta, and I think that could be a questionable moment. But I'm going to trust myself. No, dude. So I told you this before, the thesis on which I'm basing this off of is that I believe there's multiple weights on this company's shoulder right now, and I think when one of them is lifted, the other has the opportunity to gain a little bit of ground, and that's the antitrust going on, right? We've seen what happened with Google and Apple, and then they just go absolutely nuts.
Weight lifted off.
And exactly. So I think that's going to be the narrative here, regardless of how long it takes. It may take significantly longer than what we're anticipating, but this is another name that's trading relatively cheap from a PE standpoint. Yeah, we understand that they're depleting cash flow, but who isn't at this point from the hyperscalers? And I mean, their AI tools aren't the best, but the antitrust is what the bigger issue, in my opinion, that's just kind of been brushed under the rug, but is holding up this name
just one sec.
A little bit. Yeah, sure.
Guys, Ritter is taking out highs. Here comes 40 pennies. We added like a psycho into 34. Ritter could be at 50 pennies soon. Traded carefully. It is up 600%. And it's going here, Sia.
Let's take a look at USO. That's climbing here a little bit right now. U.S. President Donald Trump making certain comments on Truth Social at the moment, saying that nothing gets through to Iran without U.S. approval and that Hormuz is being controlled by the U.S. Navy. Also saying that whether Iran wants to admit it or not, we are, in fact, talking of a solution to a problem that they have caused for decades. USO climbing right now. If there's anything more developments in this arena, I will be sure to update you.
Yeah, great report there, because people were asking what is going on with USO. Yeah, interesting comments from President Trump, privately seeking talks. He says Iran is, that the U.S. Navy controls the strait. He says the sanctions stay until the Iran deal is complete. He says Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. He says the talks with Iran are continuing. Yeah, so You know, I feel like this is just a daily occurrence where we constantly have to update on the state of the Middle Eastern conflict, but such is the market, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying that, man. It's just like sometimes it gets a little tiring just hearing the same thing, like that we got a deal. Oh no, we don't got a deal.
Yeah.
We're hitting them hard. Oh no, they want to talk. It's just like, yeah, all right, man. Just, you know what I mean?
All over the map.
Yeah, exactly. So, but there's nothing we can do about it. It's intriguing. It's interesting for sure. But yeah, I mean, aside from that, guys, what else you got, Gaurav? I was gonna ask you what you're looking at for bestseller 41 RITR says KC 526. Let's see. Yeah, it is.
She's trading Ritter?
Yeah.
I don't know if she's allowed to trade Ritter.
Why?
I don't know, man. She wasn't calling it out earlier.
Oh.
She's calling out TAOP.
Oh.
Love you, Case. I hope you have a fantastic week.
My boy's saying stay in the lane, Case.
Ooh.
Obviously, we love you. But
Obviously.
no, yeah, of course. It goes without saying we mess around a little bit. It's absurd. Let's go MGN. Okay,
Let's go.
Are you in that one too?
Of course, my boy.
Whoa.
We're doing it live here, Joey.
Live. Where's it at? It's an 18 center right there.
22s, my boy.
22. Oh, okay.
She put the boxing glove.
Oh, it is a fight, dude.
I love this
Casey,
woman, bro.
Casey
She's
said
sick. She's
she
sick
is
vibe.
she is good stuff.
I love her, man.
She's like, hey, Joe, we should start a band called Casey and JoJo. I'm like, well,
I just got shafted.
No,
out of that
yeah,
whole
I don't know
thing.
why you're not in it, but you can maybe be the C. You could be the C, K, C, and then JoJo.
Oh, that's a good
all right?
point.
But I'm like,
at least you're thinking about me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
I'm like,
somebody
unless
else.
you can sing, we're in trouble already. So
Well,
me too. So that makes two of us. So we're not off to a good start on that one there, Casey.
Come
but
on,
anyway,
MGN,
yeah,
baby.
go ahead, man.
Nah, it's ripping,
It's
Joey.
ripping.
That's
I
what
know.
it's
I got to
doing,
get in some of
right?
these small cap lanes. Also, another one that's ripping.
Rip City.
But this is a 2x leverage play here. NBIL moving pretty well here today.
Okay.
Tau, and then there's another name. Ooh, this one's halted down, it looks like. But Ezra, Sharif, do you find that when these names get a little bit too crowded, they just don't do too much? Or how do you feel about that?
Pardon me?
When they get too crowded?
The small caps?
Yeah, when they get too...
Sometimes it feels like
too
it's in a good way, though, Joey, because once they trend, they trend. So once you're moving to the upside, you really ride that momentum when it flips.
When it flips.
Because then you have Luis and his boys at the real trading office in Barcelona, Spain, hitting 500,000 shares to the short side there, and rinsing everybody else. But no, I'm kidding. Of course, Luis Barbado, obviously great small cap trader.
Palantir might be a short here.
Say that again, Palantir. Don't say that around. Oh, come on now. There we go.
I know, but it
Guys,
might be.
It's Rip City right now in MGN world, man. 25 pennies incoming, and this is going to be the end of my trade anyway. So we're going to put 25 out there. We're going to look to wet the beak, 24.40. There's a big seller here at 24.40. Joey, they killed him. Here comes 25, 24.94. We're going to flatten out here. We're going to take it in and around 25. Good trade on MGN, 25 pennies. I take it out there because I expect resistance. I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong. But I do expect resistance at the $0.25. So I'm very happy with this trade. Sound trade, technically sound into kind of a higher high, higher low setup. My only mistake, as I usually do make on these ones, is I didn't add, right? I tried not to make that mistake with Ritter, having added at that level, but we're at 40 pennies in here. It comes against me again. So we're gonna wait for 30 to hold up here and add a little bit more at the 10 EMA. So watching all these ones really hit, and happy with them so far. Luis calling HYFM was a nice one, but too many halts. Let's look at that, because a lot of people are interested in taking these ones short. From what I see anyway, HYFM. Let's put that on there, Joey. Let's see what we got on this bad boy. Oh, that's a classic. That's the one that was straddling 4 in the morning, Luis. And see, can I say something, Luis? Like this one, it would have thrown a lot of people off, right? Because this is a bull flag if I've ever seen one, and you probably had a bunch of people, and the volume actually doesn't show this, probably waiting at VWAP, which is right around $3. But look at the volume bars. There just wasn't. And there was really no resistance at 3 or VWAP. It just continued to bleed. It lost 3, no problem. It looks like it lost 2, no problem. Maybe a little bit of a bounce back into 2.25. But this one really did drop quite aggressively. HYFM, good call out by Luis. This one was the big gapper, pardon me, in the morning that Neil and I were talking about, and then it bled its own blood. And we see that a lot though, eh? the ones in the morning that we call out like 7:30, 8:30, they don't really continue, man, into the afternoon. I always feel like it's new trades that we're starting with here on the
ones that just come out of the blue.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
right?
totally fine,
that,
man.
but-
Sticky note level, $91 on Intel. Dare we look at INTC and see what we're trading at right now, Sharif? Yeah, dude, you got it, man. Yeah, nice. No, man, all good, brother. Yeah, nice call out there. 91. We go to, okay, all right. Yeah, 8 o'clock, my boy wrote that down. What was the high, Katina, man? 91.08. My guy. Yeah, that's sniper move right there. So really good look. Was an Apple, just got stopped out. Next level watch, 300. So you know what I think's going on right now, Gaurav, is that we have a rotation out of, as we would like to call it, the flight to safety in AAPL and into some of these chip names, right? Even though the memory names, I think we should categorize them a little bit differently. Is like these memory names are to the downside, but what you have is AMD up 0.5%. I mean, that's nothing to write home about. NVDA up 3%. That's really helping the market get going. But then you have just like as a kind of collective unit, what we have is the majority of the mega cap names positive here today, with the exception of, I guess, Broadcom. That won't take much for it. See, like, it's going to go positive right now. And then we have Apple down 1 3/4, which is just not heavily weighted enough right now to go against what we're seeing in the other top 6 or 7 names, right? So just that's how I would look at it anyways. Obviously subjective material, but I mean, as a collective unit here, downside with the exception of SanDisk, which I believe was hit pretty heavy. But yeah, maybe a slight rotation out of AAPL. Listen, this is a dip buy opportunity, in my opinion. You don't go all in at once. It may sell off a little bit more, but 21% iPhone sales growth. It was the guide that was the issue, but I think in the bigger picture, it's going to be a good opportunity to get involved in this 27-cent divvy. Oh, I thought Apple paid a little bit more of that, to be honest with you. You know what I want to see from this company is I want our boy Jensen to start a hefty share buyback program. When I say hefty, I mean like this guy just, instead of, never mind this divvy, just start buying back shares like what Apple was doing with that $1 billion share buyback, or whatever it was, $100 billion, I believe it was. So just insane numbers. But it's actually our float on this bad boy on NVDA. It's pretty hefty. I have to say hefty one more time. Where can I find my float on this, Sharif? Sharif, where's the float on this?
So go to company profile.
Yeah.
And then scroll down. There you go. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snap. Yeah. Let's go, Jensen. Yeah. Let's go, Jensen. Start buying this stuff back, man.
What is it? 24 billion? 23.3
Yeah.
Cool.
I think Jensen can start buying some back. But what I was just saying, Sharif, with Apple and the $100 billion buyback program, I think Jensen, instead of issuing that divvy or increasing the divvy, start just buying shares back.
I think he has he has a pretty aggressive share buyback authorization.
But I mean, I'm talking like Apple 100 billion.
Oh,
yeah. You know what I mean? Instead of the dividend, you know. So just go and buy shares. But look at this, an extra 10 billion shares. I mean, this is part of the program right here. You're only at a 14 billion share float at that point.
Well, exactly.
Compared to what we have on NVDA, who has 23 billion, right? That's another name with another big float. I don't think Tesla's is anywhere close to that. We'll go head over here. Oh yeah, it's only 3 billion. That's comical. But anyways, but yeah, I mean, no. In all seriousness, I think that's gonna be a potential driver for that name without any form of question.
What's that guy's name again? That guy that sits over there.
Oh, I don't even know, man. No.
So he asked. He's so kind. He's so
nice,
polite,
man.
right?
Yeah,
he's like, so I'm gonna go get pizza for everybody. How many should I get?
Oh.
I'm like, well, usually when the viewers buy us pizza, they get 3. And I was just kind of basing it on Adam James Abroad, always, right? And then I'm like, make sure to get Neil pineapple pizza, though, right? Because he really likes it. So like, Neil likes Hawaiian. I'm like,
man,
right?
That's
so this
sinister,
really interesting over here.
No, you know why? Because I always say
hi
to everybody. When he walks in, he's like, he's like waving to me
awesome,
like this,
bro.
and I just say hi. And every
Sick
time we get
vibes.
pizza, I'm like, hey man, you want some?
Is that what he
and
is?
he's like,
Is that-
no, and I'm like, you sure?
Because he said that to me. He's like, I don't want, but I'm
he's
gonna
like-
get for
he's
you
like,
guys. I'm
he's
like,
like,
yo,
no,
this
and I'm
guy's
like,
all
are you sure? And he's like, okay, I'll have some every time. So yeah.
Yeah.
Good
The
stuff,
chat's
man.
like,
Good
yo,
people
you're
around
evil.
here. Is Michael here
Oh,
today?
Zed.
No, Michael's
No,
not here
Michael's
today.
not
Yeah,
here. No
Michael's not here
Randy.
today, man.
No Rob. No Mark. It's their day off, of course. It is a holiday, statutory holiday in Canada. It's called Civic Long Weekend. We had a big parade in the city. You guys may know it by the name Caravana. It's no longer called that, of course. It's a Caribbean festival, but it's big. A lot of Americans come up from the south for this thing, and there was a parade downtown. Luckily for them, it was on Saturday when it didn't rain, even though the weather people were calling for rain on Saturday. They got that one wrong. It did rain up like that kind of storm yesterday. It was unabated.
It was all day, man.
All day, brother.
All day.
And I don't mind those days, eh?
Yeah,
as
you
long
like
as
a
we
nice
get a
rainy
bunch
day?
of sunny days after that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything's super green, which I do like.
Sunny days.
I'm here, bro.
What's up,
My
bro?
man,
Who said-
Scott.
who said
and I'm
that?
doing it live.
Oh, that's crazy.
Get it, man. Katina Man says that's the only way. You got to do it live. Otherwise,
How else
what
would
are we
you
even
even?
doing
How else
out
would
here,
you even
bro?
do it though?
Yeah, big seller here on Ritter at 34 case. I saw you call this out earlier. There was a 34 seller. So it's holding structure, but something tells me we might encounter some bamboozlement. I haven't seen it do this. It feels like a big short seller just stepped in on Ritter at 34.01. It just kind of like froze at that 34 penny level there. Weird. And now it's bleeding its own blood. So we're going to kind of continue to watch that one.
Neil rolling in with the dual.
downside.
Neil rolling in with the dual slice. I had to see what he had going on there. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, brother. I just wanted to pull
of
up
course,
here with
Joey.
IBIT.
Get it,
Neil
man.
coming in with the dual Nova slice. We'll see if he got
doing
the
over there,
same
bro?
thing, the same two slices, or he switched it up there. We'll find that out
Pizza
momentarily. But
Nova.
there goes Bitcoin back towards the high of the day. Again, this is what I stated. We're just
Get it,
going
Neil.
straight buy program. Oh,
You didn't
okay.
get
You gotta
pineapple
get the-
pizza?
Yeah, that's crazy.
There may or may not be
Okay,
a
yeah, I'm just
pineapple
switching.
pizza.
Oh, but that's the
coming to you
one.
later
That's the
on.
one. Oh man, get that away
I don't
from
know,
me.
it's
That's
just
crazy
like,
talk.
Somebody asked me like what you like. and
Yeah.
That's the first thing that came to my mind.
So
I don't.
36.
Well, you know, technically it's not even just pineapple. It's Hawaiian, Neil. So.
the double mushroom is crazy.
He didn't like that.
36.20. I think at some point we're gonna break through the high of the day. You know what's crazy, man?
happened?
How high off of the all-time highs is the S&P, the SPY?
I don't know, brother.
I mean, well, you gotta just guess, man.
All-time highs?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah.
can tell you this. It's 2 or 3%.
It's about 0.7%. How about the
Off the SPY?
Yeah, yeah. Now for the Nasdaq,
Get it, Joey.
How much on the Nasdaq are we at?
2 or
all time?
3.
Yeah, 7.
Whoa.
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Well, no, what I'm getting at here is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
SPY has been
outperforming.
Yeah,
There's no
exactly.
question about that.
And that's
That's all,
just
brother.
I just due obviously not to the fact that they have so
Duolingo.
much of a concentration to some of the tech names. XLV and XLF most definitely help hold the SPY up right now.
You know what Duo gave me the other day?
What is it, man?
2-year anniversary for Mandarin. Oh, baby.
Did you buy your streak back?
No, I didn't. I never buy the streak back. It makes you do a test.
Did you
gotta
get it
do
back? You got it back, though?
Yeah. I've got it back.
All
boy.
right, man.
It doesn't give it to you right away, though, eh?
Oh,
it makes
really?
you work for
Oh,
it a
man,
couple of
that's
days. Like, let me
crazy.
see if he's back into his good kind of like
Yeah,
pattern
yeah,
there, and then
right.
I'll offer it back to him. Nick Dub. Thank you very much, Nick. Very kind of you, brother. $5 super chat from the OG Nick Dub. Sharif, what are your thoughts on SoFi here? Nick, I'm assuming you are asking from a technical perspective on the daily, though, Nick, or are you looking for a swing trade here? So I gotta need a little bit more from you, but let me know exactly what you're thinking. In any event, I'm gonna start the analysis here on SoFi. I'm gonna start with the daily. Okay, so certainly $15 support. You can just immediately see that. Since we sold off from our all-time highs in at 32, so we bleed our own blood, we lose 50% of the value or 54% of the value, that's okay. But that $15 area here, a clear area of support for this one. So 15 I like right away. By the same token, look at this. Look at this $20 resistance. So we are caught in a bit of a range. We got 15 support. We got 20 resistance on the daily. That 20 just happens to coincide with the 200 exponential moving average on the daily, okay? So I'd say the range is there until it's not, Nick. So you're putting resting orders at 15 or thereabouts to get those fills when and if it comes down there. And then if you want, I'm not saying you need to wet the beak at 20, but if you want, you throw in profit takers around 20 and you save a piece for the dream, lest this one make back all-time highs. So think about that. I do like it for that reason and that reason only. I'd be buying it around 15. And you know, you could use the, what is it called again? The options wheel strategy. Joseph and I were talking about this not long ago, and I'll let Joey obviously talk about this in much more detail than I, but he's on the screen. Yes, swing trade, looking for daily and hourly. So then I'm yelling 15 here, Nick, 15 and 20. But to go back to the options wheel strategy, like this is where you really can shine because you basically, how was that guy doing? Remember when we went to the Money Show a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
Remember what he was doing? He was trading something in a range. And what would he do when it came to the low end of the range? You'd buy?
Yeah, I think
he'd be selling calls around there?
Above the range. Yeah,
range.
what was it? It was like Macy's or
Get
something
what it was.
like
Yes,
that.
yes, you're right.
So
Absolutely, it
something
was
along those
Macy's.
lines.
There goes MGN into the highs, and we added like a crazy person into 26. Here comes 31. I'm posting at 31, 32s. Let's see what MGN has in the tank, 31 or thereabouts is being knocked on the door of. I saw 31 nines, but I do expect resistance in and around this area, especially going into 33. Even though 33, not an area I typically earmark for technical resistance, it is, of course, the third of a dollar, and as such, it could present, at least some resistance in and around there. I just added into Ritter at 30. I'm going to defend into Ritter into about 22. So I do expect this one to take a little bit more of a dive. I don't have too much on in the way of shares. So let's see exactly if we can get a little bit more, maybe at the $0.25. So watching all these bad boys right now and a couple of trades have been good to me here. Yeah, DFNS says Grunfeld. Not this one again. Oh my Lanta. This one is coming back. 56, 49 high, showing 52s now. We're going to have to take off something here. And we're going to have to look at this. So I'm going to take off one of these levered ETFs because I'm unlikely to trade it. DFNS, obviously, it's a lot more expensive now, but watch out for this one. It is a mover, and I think that is kind of putting it a little bit lightly here. Nick Dub, makes a lot of sense. I see that too. Thank you. Absolutely, brother. Where's the give me my money button? You know what, Case? I actually had a really interesting idea for a new animation. I don't know if the Chilean Nightmare is listing. Shout out to my man Fabian over there. It would be like getting rinsed, right? So it's like we could get like, I just kind of appear as like a person who's standard, and then all of a sudden the animation, we start twisting, and I'm getting rinsed, and money's coming out of me like that. It's like I got all my money
just
taken out of me.
bleeding money.
So they're
It's never fun to bleed money.
No,
it's usually not good times. We have Fabian and the lads were out on Friday. Your boy One was out there too.
Hold on. What happened there? Who went out?
It was Joey O himself.
Oh,
the Jedi Master.
I love it.
Jose.
You guys are all out, eh?
The Chilean Nightmare.
The Chilean Nightmare was out.
And the what was it? What can we call Juan, man? Like, I mean,
I don't know, man. We gotta let it happen organically.
The Malaysian merchant or something.
What is he selling?
Yeah, it's true. You know what I mean? But something along those lines. But anyways, good times. We got a video for you upcoming here momentarily. But other than that, guys, head over to our watch list and see how some of these names are performing today. I mean, Tesla. Wow. Okay, what's up, Tesla? Who said they were buying this? Yeah. Wow. TSLL, don't worry, it's gonna, don't worry, it's gonna go there. My guy iGrow fighting $11 is what we need for you to get out of this bad boy. It may take a little bit of time because don't forget, you're gonna need a pretty big return in order for us to just get to that marker. See, 38% when that's only a 20% return here in Tesla from point A to point B. Now what we'll do is over here, 20% will bring us right around that. Even less, man. Oh yeah, that's disastrous. But anyways, you'll get it figured out who hit the rinse thing on that one. But Robinhood, yeah, there we go. We have that one. Robinhood with a buy program. So things are pretty strong across the board here. Now, XLF shouldn't be too far off of the all-time highs considering the market is as well. So XLF putting in, see at the wick high, you're about 0.1% off of that level. Same thing with JPM and Morgan Stanley. So JPM still hovering around this area, about 2% off the all-time high. As Morgan Stanley a little bit more, but I think there's a good opportunity to get involved as you are down 10%. A big time run. Once these trend lines are broken, I think it's just such good opportunities to get involved with some of these major banks, especially when they're beaten down, and they do tend to get beaten pretty heavy, down 20%, but then just goes on an insane run from $152 all the way up to $230. So you almost get 100% return just like that, Shreve.
Casey, she dropped another 5 Membies in the chat. Thank her for that, as we always do. All class Casey 526 from the Big Apple. We got Basu Games. You got one. Bad Mana Man. You got one. Pip Guru. I like that. Pashka Trading, Deadly Venom. All of you guys got a free Trader TV Live premium membership thanks to KC526. She is very, very generous, as she always is. And I have to let you guys know that now that you guys are premium YouTube subs, makes you eligible to get my morning note every single morning that I'm here, of course. So mosey on over to the Trader TV Live homepage on YouTube. You'll see a bunch of tabs at the top. You'll be at home by default. Click posts right there. And then mosey on down to where it says members only. And then you got to hit read more. A lot of you guys have been saying, how come I can only see one page? Well, that page is a screenshot. I just put the first page, or like the one that's capturing the most headlines. Hit read more. And then you'll see all the main headlines right there. And then right at the bottom, read the full PDF here. Maybe I should put this link right at the top.
That'd be good.
So that people don't have this problem. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So you hit that link, and then you're going to see that President Trump paused the strikes on Iran and crude gave back its wartime premium, yada, yada, yada. And then you'll see AZN, its mega merger there with Bristol Myers Squibb. Baba there with Quen 3.8 Max. So make sure you're getting that every day. Solid technical levels on that, and we often go through them to see whether or not they're jiving, and they're pretty good. RITR just got the beak wet there on a 30 dip. I'm looking for more, Joey.
All right, good stuff, man. Gabe, I don't know about you, man. That's but I'm sorry to hear about that, but just be patient. I don't know what your time frame is. It's just, I think what I was saying to a lot of individuals is that where we've seen names just go on these beautiful runs, eventually you'll have the rotation out of them into other things, and that might be out of Apple into Microsoft and Amazon, as Amazon touched in, and still going. Wow, what an absolute monstrous move from, 26.
Get it, Assassino. He knows what's up, baby.
Yeah, 26%. I mean, in the span of a couple of days, Sharif. So when you top out in May of the year and it just grinds lower, then it's just like, all right, yeah, that's pretty much that's all irrelevant as you just go on an absolute parabolic run. And again, it goes in both directions. Too far, too fast. That's probably going to be the narrative for Amazon, but I don't think it's going to come to an abrupt end, right? I do believe that we grind a little bit more. And it just continues to do its thing, and just wait for a pullback. That's the exact same thing that's happening here with Google. Google's up another 5 1/3%.
Kidding?
Yeah, I mean it's
what the hell, man?
And it's insane.
That's money coming out of Apple going straight into Google. That's a fact.
Dude, I just was saying that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Brother,
so it's just like out of both of them, right? Out of Apple, you get into Microsoft, Amazon, and Google here, and you just go on a big time run, 206.83.
Yo, Diffness is moving, bro.
With NVDA buy program here. All right, we'll get to Diffness here momentarily. As we have a $10 super chat here, 0 DTE SPY, 574 puts bleeding. Should I just sell them? 574. Oh, I mean, 0 DT, 574 on the SPY puts. Oh, yeah, you got the puts. Yeah, that's a little bit tougher of a look. It doesn't, you would have to wait. Just wait until, again, you have to come up with a game plan, but considering it does seem like we're in a buy program today, see what 2:33 o'clock brings. But I don't believe the pullback's going to be overly deep unless we get a crazy truth post from Donald Trump himself.
Diffness is ripping. DFNS, guys. 56.49 area high. 56.67 is limit up. We know this one can halt. We've seen it. It's up 90% again today. We have to put some respect on this one's name, but it does have a 53 penny buyer here, or sorry, seller. The spread is tightening up to 25 pennies, 50 pennies now. But look, this is putting in a rounded bottom. Now, it did fail VWAP, but it did hold prior area structure. So my focus is going to be on support and resistance as opposed to any technical indicators. I want to see if we can get up a little bit higher here. Now, I want to pick it up at the right opportunity. So I'm going to flip to the 5-second chart to spot localized areas of support and resistance. I know for a fact there's a 53 seller here, despite the fact that, prior area high did get into 54. It's just about where the selling comes in so I can kind of put my out. Now, I'm going to have to give this dollars, right? So this will affect, of course, my share size. So I do see a local area of support here at 52 bucks. Okay, but I'm seeing the same area of resistance at 53. It is stair-stepping up, though. So I don't know exactly how I want to get into this at the moment, but looking here, 52 is failing, 51 and a quarter. So let's see if 50 acts as support here, Joey, as it is rejecting that 53 area, coming back in, 50 now showing up. Does it hold 50? Now, we can give this a try here just below 50, right? I'll have to give it $1. I'm going to give this $1. Let's see what we can get. Take over here so I can throw in my stuff, brother.
All right. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, man, for sure. IBIT losing relative strength. TQs looks like it might take another leg higher. Yeah, that's the thing. And Minty Gush, I mean, I understand. I understand what you're saying, especially what we're seeing in the overall market right now. So, yeah, I don't think you're wrong whatsoever. So, I mean, there's not much more you can do. That's why sometimes the spread route is the ideal way to go. I don't know how much you paid from. If you're okay with losing that, then by all means, that's fine. But you can also mitigate loss by just writing some options as well too. So here it is, IBIT looking like it finally wants to break this structure and maybe head in towards the volume weighted average price. But what we do is we have a tracking price really, really well here, guys. So not too bad of a look. And yeah, we talked about SPY, but watch out for this bull flag to kick off. Let's actually head over to the chain and see what we got from an open interest standpoint and why we have stalled around 207.50. If there's an outstanding amount of contracts open at that level, then by all means, I think we might run into a little bit of a resistance zone. But what I've checked from last night, I don't think that's necessarily the case. Yeah, see 207.50 here, 8,000 contracts. This is small potatoes, Sharif. This is, I'm liking the look, as my guy would say, of this one's jib. Will hit the stone cold for NVDA, as there's not much overhead resistance in the coming weeks. I mean, this is Friday's expiration, and we'll care about that later on. We'll wait until Palantir, even though it doesn't have much of an influence on what this name does, but this is small potatoes. Dooley, if you guys know who that is, small potatoes, we need some more in order for us to stop this freight train that is NVDA today. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. I mean, let's see how far we can climb in this one, relatively cheap. Someone said $300 on NVDA by the end of the year. I hope I have enough by that time, my friend, but I wouldn't disagree with you whatsoever. Here comes the breakdown on IBIT. We'll head over to our let's go over to our large cap scanner and see what we got going on. I like how Sharif brought up the point. Dude, so this is how crazy it's gotten. Sharif, he sits down at his desk, looks at his scanner, and he goes, it's all leverage products. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Look what happened in South Korea. Like, eventually people are just going to get absolutely destroyed on some of these. Neil and Sean were talking about the GameStop one this morning as well, too. Once they're done, it's over. It's over. No, it's over. But no, it's not funny because it's real people's money.
Exactly.
But you have to be cautious with this. And then now they want to start releasing, or they have released single stock futures. Well, congratulations, bro. Leverage your system even more. Like,
straight up.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to see this stuff. Just be cautious on what you got going on, because it's horrible to see what happened in South Korea. A whole index came down almost 40%. crazy stuff. And a lot of people lost a lot of money, which is not good. And it's going to take a while for that next wave of participants to step in. Leverage is fun, but not when you own it and when you're not using it in the right way.
Exactly.
You're going to get yourself into a lot of trouble, not to be held overnight. Exactly. I'm glad that you finished off with that. But look what happened when you had a whole
What was that
group.
guy, that 24-year-old, 25-year-old Oshin, whatever, the guy that was running the hedge fund that blew up. And then he was the one selling. Neil, I sent you his name. What was his name again? The dude.
Oh, Leopold.
Leopold.
Yeah, Leopold. Leopold.
Remember that guy I was telling you? Leopold.
What was he do? What
whatever.
was he do? What was he do?
Bro, he levered up the entire fund. He lost 50% and Citadel rinsed him.
Yeah.
They took all his stuff at like a 50% clip. I mean, and Kramer was angry with this guy. He's like, I didn't understand why people were selling Intel. It was this guy the entire time because he was levered up.
Yeah,
and it didn't make any sense why people were selling Intel.
It's Russian roulette, it is,
right?
man. You don't want to own these products because it's so hard to gain back. Like, look at CoinL. CoinL you may as well just remove it off the exchange at this point.
Joey, we're doing well here, man. We're $2 in the frickin' money. Give me my money, man. There we go, into Diffness. Diffness is very close to $54 here. So I took it out at 53 and change. We got 50.91. I'm looking for the high of daybreak. 56.49 is the high of the day. We're looking to see if we can take that out. DFNS, look, it's been putting in higher lows, higher highs. It defended 50 quite well, which is why we got in and around that 50 area. Of course, when you're this spready, I got plenty of slippage to the tune of 91 pennies here. So I'm looking for a big break here on DFNS. Let's see if we get it. SXTC is just ripping. Shout out to Grunfeld. Shout out to Drew. Both of these guys called it out. In fact, I think Grunfeld was first, just to give him his credit there. And it's just ripping. But this is a 10-penny name. It's got 10.5 pennies as a high. I didn't get involved because I was focused on DFNS, as I have to be still. As this one I can be out of the money immediately, like I almost am here. Was just almost $3 in the money, and now I'm almost back to break even. I only have one out left. We did really good on this trade, but the fact of the matter is, I'm not out of the clear quite yet.
Check your chat.
Yeah, just one sec.
It doesn't have to be right.
Is it Ram Ram?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course,
she wants to know what flavor to get. I'm like, yo, just get whatever, bro.
Get the
yes,
lemon.
Please.
Get the lemon pepper.
Yes, please. There she is. Oh, that was 8 minutes ago. Oh, I'm gonna hear about it now.
Would you get the lemon pepper?
The lemon pepper what? The protein bar?
Oh,
it's just protein bars.
Oh,
Yeah. She's just buying me protein bars from Shoppers. But yeah, that's it. So Joey, SXTC coming down pretty aggressively. I'm still holding DFNS here. I'll stop out below 50. I'll have to give this one room because if it goes to 55, 56 without me, I'll be really upset. So allow this trade to see through. I saw a 50 buyer there last time. Pretty aggressive 50 buyer. So let's see if he shows up again as we move back into 52.
Boss Games, that was Casey, I believe, that you received a membership from. It's funny because I actually have your name here written down. That's what I was going to tell you guys. I was actually going to gift you one. Next Friday, I think I'm gonna follow in Casey's footsteps. No, it is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give some people who I believe in the chat deserve those memberships. I'm gonna gift them yourself, and you guys can hold me accountable. It's not just tongue in cheek. I will be gifting some individials some memberships.
I love it. Thank you, Ram Ram. Sorry,
on the 14th.
I apologize. Oh, look, she's so kind. How much do you?
Exactly.
Send it so I can e-transfer you now.
We're sending it over the desk. Cookies and cream. How much?
I got cookies and cream, and I got double chunk chocolate. I'm very happy about this. Only 1 gram of sugar in each bar options, man. So 21 grams of protein.
That's good, my boy. But yeah, no, I promise you guys, we're gonna do a membership giveaway on the 14th. All right? I'm gonna give you guys some. Let's send it over to the desk.
Let's take a look at what the markets are doing right now before we dive right into what's happening now. The SPY currently up 1.2%. You have the triple Qs that are up almost 1.5% on the day. The Dow is also up 8%, whereas the IWM up over 1.5%. I want to talk about GEV. So GE Vernova. So William Blair, that's an investment firm, has added GEV to its conviction list and has an outperform rating on this stock. They've said that, quote unquote, we are taking the opposite side of this trade and believe that the market still underestimates the level by which electrical infrastructure and the U.S. power grid need to be built out. They've written this in a note GEV is currently up over 8% right now. Also want to talk about AMZN that crossed its $3 trillion market cap as of today. So it has also come in as Amazon has climbed nearly 5%, almost as of today, over 5% as of right now. That is at its all-time highs as of today. Amazon, as we know, it surged 17% as of last week, making its biggest weekly gain that it's had since the year 2015. Before we send it back to the guys, I want to send it to Neil and know what his lesson of the day is for you all.
Thank you, Sia. So the lesson of the day is, this is a wild one because I actually made this comment at one point in the morning show and then look back on it. It's like, oh, I completely ignored something that even myself I was observing. And given that Friday was the last trading day of the month, sometimes we see window dressing, a lot of big imbalances. There's something about the last, sometimes 15 minutes, 20 minutes, sometimes it can be half an hour, maybe even a little bit longer than that, which is heavily skewed by that window dressing or crazy price action or imbalance, whatever it might be. And a lot of times, it's not that you want to completely throw out that price action, but when you're thinking about key price levels and breaks and structure, it's a bit of an outlier that can lead you astray. And despite having said all that and knowing it myself, I actually allowed that to completely cloud a trade of mine today. So I'll lay the land out for a quick little second. Because this is Nvidia. This is gap down, rounded bottom into a flat top break at 200. Like this level right here, when you had the gap down, is $200 almost exactly. Then a rounded bottom, and on Friday in the morning, 200 on a dime, in the afternoon, 200 on a dime. And then, oh, look at this. At the end of the day, when there was all the window dressing and you're dealing with the close, there was that crazy break of 200, but then we were right back underneath in the aftermarket, and then right back underneath today. So you can probably see where this is headed. If you watch the morning show, you know exactly where I was headed. Had it not been for this move here, like these levels formed at the end of the day with the window dressing, then a breakout of 200 looks like a gap fill to 205 with also resistance if there's a key prior close at 06.5, 7s, and then maybe 08. That's a lot of room in the move. Obviously, you know what actually happened, which is someone like myself who then took the break and actually used all of that nonsense window dressing action to inform my exit. I'm like, oh, instead of saying that it has all that room, I just went to the old tried and true, no, I take breakouts into resistance, don't hold through overhead resistance. It's a scalp to this level because that's a level. Now, sometimes that would be true. And a lot of times, if your strategy is your strategy and the way you trade is the way you trade, fair enough. But when you have the range made by that crazy action at the close, which is, it's a bit of a one-off. Admittedly so, and it's been true almost as long as I've been looking at the imbalances. When you have that price action that gets skewed by window dressing or skewed by an imbalance, sometimes you have to throw it out because you still had the resistance at 200. You still had the gap fill at 200 outside of that one event that lasted for 30 minutes in the day. It's not to say you completely throw it out. I probably still scalp some out there, but there's no way I'm thinking the short scalp like right away, like into that first candle and the 201. That doesn't even, there's no chance. There's no chance I would do that again, but you have to be able to acknowledge not just that you read it wrong, but then what's the reason why you had the wrong read? And the reason was actually giving the same level of credence to a price area that was a bit of a fabrication on window dressing at the end of a month. This wasn't like some random day where Nvidia had a 1 million or a tiny imbalance, but then traded through there. No, it was the end of the month when you can expect big window dressing and volatility at the close. You got a little bit of it, and sometimes you just have to throw things out. You can make arguments like this across the board. Like, look what happened to Apple. Like, Apple also had a crazy run at the end of the day. Look at the last candle on Apple. 306.5 all the way to 310. Right at the close. Well, what happened at the open? It said, who cares? and completely rejected all of that, and there was nothing doing it. Just closed that gap in. And I'm not saying it's going to do that every single time, but when that level was window dressing, when that level was just a bitty crazy close action, it's not the same price action as you're used to, and you shouldn't give it the same level of respect or credence to that type of a strategy. If it's a technical strategy on a 15 where I'm respecting prior closes, opening ranges, all that stuff, those are more important than window dressing at the end of the day. It's one thing with those crazy highs where a vacuum on Fed day, where you found resistance on a Fed day, that's one thing. But that was not the case here. It was just some imbalance action at the end of the month, and I overrated it. And that was the difference between, that's literally the difference between Nvidia being 1-to-1 with any of my losses and holding on to Nvidia and going 1 for 5 and being green. Because I give Nvidia enough room to avoid. No, I just didn't, for whatever reason. I don't know exactly the reason, but for that reason, I wasn't giving it the room that it needed to go. And then, of course, it ended up being just the gap fill that you would have anticipated, doing the opposite of what Apple did. So it's not that this will happen all the time, but every now and then you're going to see a big imbalance. You're going to see some kind of event that skews the chart, but really it doesn't change where the key price levels are and the key gaps are, and you need to be able to recognize that. So that's for myself. I can't grade lunch because I have my own. I showed you guys the Pizza Nova, regular stuff, pretty delicious. But those protein bars that Sharif has look pretty good. You say cookies and cream. The second you say cookies and cream, you know that was my ish protein bar flavor back in the day, Sharif. Like, that is one of the best right there. Keep it real. All right, so we'll send you guys back to Joey Options, the professor who still has a mouthful of cookies and cream.
All right, guys. Thanks very much for that, Neil.
I'm dirty.
I got to tell you guys about VinFast, man. VinFast continues to do good things. Specifically, oh boy. VinFast reported strong Q2 momentum, delivering more than 70,000 EVs globally. That is up 96% year over year. First half deliveries reached 129,000 vehicles. That's up 78% year over year, and it reinforces the company's growth trajectory across expanding EV portfolio. By mid-year, VinFast had already achieved approximately 43% of both its 2026 Q4 and 2W delivery targets, putting the company firmly on track across both growth engines. Good look here for the great folks at VinFast. No slinger, they're not from Costco. They're from across the road at a pharmacy. Very similar to Walgreens, very similar to CVS. It's called Shoppers Drug Mart. It's what we have in Toronto or in Canada. It's like the big one. There's others, but you know, this one is the biggest one. So we have one across the road on Ram.
Yeah, Ram
was nice enough to
What did Ram
hook me up
get from there?
I don't know what she got from there. I don't even think she got. Did you get anything else from Shoppers Ram? No, thanks. It's so nice,
It's
bro.
expensive over there, man.
It's always expensive, but that's why you have optimum points, my boy.
Oh, you collect those?
My MasterCard.
Yeah.
We got the Optimum MasterCard,
How many
Joey.
you got on there, my boy?
PC Financial, my
How
guy.
many you got?
Right now?
Yeah.
25,000. That's about 25 bucks.
let me
But
get
I just finished. I just used.
I need a pack of Zoes, man. If you...
Yo, someone
All
on the someone on X was like, I'm on an American Airlines flight and a flight attendant is giving me trouble for using Zins. Are you not allowed to use it on the airplane?
Crazy. Yeah, right.
Hold on, like there's no smoke or vape.
If that was the case, my hockey buddies wouldn't be able to go anywhere.
I'm just saying, right?
So yeah, there's no way, because you can get them at the duty free. Man, it's like $3 a pack. When I was in Mexico, it was like $3 for the yeah, man. Here it's like 18 bucks.
Yeah.
No tobacco. Yeah, exactly. Only that. All right, guys, let's get right back into this market here. Ball looks good on you, Joe. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I know. I beat out Mr. Clean, Dr. Evil, and someone else, 305, Mr. 305, last week. So we might have to step up the competition with that. I said Xander Cage. We'll throw somebody else on there and see what else we have. But anyways, other than that, guys, $91 here in Robinhood. This has been on a pretty big run. SoFi up 7% as well, too. So finally finding a bottom, it seems like. You can see there's a clear supply zone at this $15 marker, which we bounced off of on multiple occasions. So I think it's clear that we can mark this as a clear support system, and then now starting to move to the northeast, which is something that we want to see. Now, as for Weber, over here, yeah, I mean, $4. That's a nice return off of those 720. But if you zoom out a little, it just gets uglier. But hey, if you find value in this, then by all means, I think you're going to be sitting pretty in suntan. See, there goes some of the cybersecurity names, Sharif. Only 9% off of the all-time highs for CrowdStrike, and a little bit less, I believe, here for PanW. Yeah, about the same here off of the all-time highs for both of these names. So that's not, no, I mean, I wouldn't say that, man. Things are looking pretty good. Here's the ETF, the Cybersecurity ETF, which I don't believe holds any actually cybersecurity names, which is crazy. Let's pull it up, actually, just so we can confirm. CIBR. There we go. Let's find the stock, and then we want to see what the holdings are. Okay. Oh, all right. We like this, Sharif, a lot. 90. See, this is an ETF, my boy. This guy's ready to rock and roll. This is an ETF. 99% equity. Like, we look at other ETFs.
That's what I want to see,
Yeah, that's
Joe.
what you want to see. So 10% Palo Alto, 8% Fortinet, and then CrowdStrike, Cisco, Broadcom. Like, I'm okay, sure. Okta, F5, and then Zscaler in there as well, too, at 3%. Man, what do you got going on here that you're hopping into game land already?
Hey, we're doing it live.
All right, man.
We're going to play. Brendo's not here. Everything.
Oh, everybody.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, why can't I hit enter?
Let's go, man. Who you
All
playing?
right, man.
Ryu. Yeah, but up the level,
it always
man.
sends me to Zangief. Bro, it starts
But
in the
up
middle. I don't know
the-
why you think I'm like
Going
stacking the deck
on
here.
rookie,
I just gotta make
going
sure
on
I got...
rookie mode.
Hold on, man. Hold on, man. Oh. Man, we're going to screw this guy up, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm
Take
rookie
your ass
mode.
back home, bro. Take your ass back home, man.
Oh.
He's getting whooped. Oh, no. Oh, no, Joey. I got too complacent. Come on, baby. Let's go. Hadouken. There we go. Spin kick. No. Oh, I'm getting beat here, Joey. I'm getting beat, man.
Oh, no. It's getting close.
Wait, man.
That's crazy.
Oh, we save it.
That's crazy.
There it goes, my guy. I'm not liking anything right now, as you guys can tell. We're going to play another level.
We are on Twitch, though, Crouching Tiger.
Yeah, this is completely like normal.
Yeah.
Everybody streams.
Yeah.
I want to try to do the uppercut. This one's hard, though. I can never kind of do this. I have to get a little room. Oh, no. Hold on. He's not giving me room, Joey. There we go. Now we got it.
Let's go NVDA, man. We're gonna buy a little bit more.
What are you looking at over there?
Yeah, I'm looking at NVDA. Also keeping an eye on the chat there, just in case Ramin gets those lemon peppers as well too, rocking and rolling. But no, in all seriousness, guys, look at this. The NASDAQ new high of the day. We have the SPY new high of the day. So this is just definitely a session in which we have to be careful in which we're gonna fade. Look how much to a T. Look how much to a T Amazon is held up at the volume weighted average price. Now listen, I mean, I do believe it's pretty far fast, but I do like the numbers and I like everything that Amazon has going on here. Just be careful for any form of a pullback, right? You'll have profit takers considering it has made an all-time high, the first out of the Magnificent Seven to do so in the past little while, or aside from Apple, I should say. What am I talking about? But outside of Apple, the hyperscalers, these bad boys are. This is the first name here, is AMZN. There goes IBIT, a nice bull flag consolidative zone around $36. Now back at the top end of the range. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get some form of a breakout here, back up into 210, like $208, $209 on NVDA. So, I mean, it's looking really, really optimistic in the overall market. It's just these memory names. There's no one that can participate in them anymore because, as Sharif said, half of South Korea's accounts got blown up. So it's just like, okay, yeah, it was all fun while it lasted. And I know I talk about it quite often. SanDisk is up 4.5%, but it's SK Hynix. How are you doing? SK Hynix still down 30% off of that high. Same with With STX Seagate here, still off of those highs. But this consolidation isn't horrible, right? I would see if you could post up in the 7s, low 7s, and then see if you can get something along those neck of the woods. Micron about to turn positive here today, but you can see a couple inside days. $1,200, 34% to the downside. Let's pull up the Kospi and see what we got going on there, and we'll go over some of the earnings.
We just beat Dalsum, Joey.
So what level you on now? Okay, it gets harder.
We're gonna go play now. E-Honda likely. Oh no, it's Ryu versus Ryu. No, this is always the hardest because it's like you're playing against yourself almost here. I'm not good enough to beat Ryu, I don't think, because he just has the same moves, bro. Yeah. Now I'm screwed.
Oh yeah, he's getting.
Look at this, bro.
Man, he did that to you.
Days, Joey, we're getting clipped here, man. I already got beat. I always lose to Ken and
Our boys
Ryu.
like the pizza is here, man. You're the best, brother. I appreciate you.
All right, let's talk about this breakout here, guys. Because there's one brewing right now. UPC taking out the volume weighted average price. Grunfeld gave me this earlier, and I was like, look, I'm not going to be a fan of this one until it takes out the volume weighted average price, and it did, and it's doing it quite well. So now I want to see if it can hold it. So this is the 1 minute on UPC. Sorry, this is the multi-time frame look. So each chart is going to be a different time frame. Top left, 1, top right, 5, bottom left, 15, bottom right, hourly. So you're seeing here already failing. Is this going to halt down? My days, UPC. Oh my God, we'll have to look at this on a trading screen because that one just bled its own blood in a very aggressive way. No, it is not halted down. And I can't even see the halt bands. This might be one of the ones where one of the screens where we don't have the halt band set up, but it just lost VWAP, and that's kind of why I always insist that they be substantially above the volume weighted average price before trading them, because it is kind of failing here. So be on the lookout for this one. I see a headline here that might make me a little bit smiley.
Keep an eye here on some of these mining companies. I'm seeing reports that President Trump is expected to attend a roundtable of mining executives on Friday, hosted by the U.S. State Department. Keep an eye on the likes of CRML, USAR, to the upside MP, to the upside maybe TMC as well here. So a couple different names to watch here again as we get reports that President Trump could be attending a roundtable of mining execs on Friday at the U.S. State Department. If I get a list of which executives from which companies are going to be there potentially, I'll keep you guys posted, because that could actually change around some of the names that are moving here depending on who is or is not reportedly attending. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that. TMC is a little bit of a different one. It's got the kind of the proprietary module nodes extractor from the bottom of the seabed, and that requires a whole different regulatory thing. But, you know, we've been holding that one for a while. It's one of those lotteries. We'll see how it does. MP, that's in my long-term account, and we're not doing well on that, full disclosure. So it's up 6.5% right now, but it's going to have to be up a little bit more just to get break even on that. So I'm not liking UPC at the moment. Joey, I got to tell you, I'm not liking anything at the moment. Everything is trading in a bit of a negative way. Everything is down and to the right. All the patterns here, FUSE, SXTC, SES, MGN, RITR, DFNS. DFNS, maybe if it can kind of hold and get back above this $50 area, but at the moment, I don't like anything, so I stay clear for the moment.
All right, man. So tomorrow we have, after the bell, we have AMD in the morning. We have United Health Group and then Caterpillar also in the morning as well, too, guys. So those are.
Did you say United Health tomorrow?
Yeah.
They already reported this season.
Did they? Oh,
okay, well, they're not coming tomorrow. Caterpillar, McDonald's, Wayfair, Spotify, Pfizer, a whole bunch tomorrow. No. Caterpillar, yes, as well, but nothing on UNH has already happened.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm just going by what I see here. So this could be wrong, but AMD, United Health, it says here. Oh, Dell. Okay, anyways, Caterpillar, Merrick, and Arista Networks also. Seagate, okay, STX. After the bell, this could be a good play right here, guys. So Pfizer, I don't know if that's going to be correct. Starbucks, I know definitely have. Yeah, Pfizer's correct. So I don't know why this is a little bit of a mixed bag. But hey, it's neither here nor there. We'll take a look at some of the expected moves here in some of these plays. First things first, we'll kick off with some of the bigger names, right? We'll start with AMD, and then we'll head over to STX to see if we find anything in that neck of the woods. But what we're looking at from an expected move standpoint here in AMD, guys, after the bell is around 8.4%. So we could see a 1 second approximate $521 high with a low of around $441 low. STX sounds good, brother. Seagate NVDA technology. So this is another memory storage play here. 9.5% expected move with a $900 high and then a low of around
PK reported last week.
746. SIA.
Yo, use the market chameleon. Can I show you a trick?
This is usually pretty accurate, man. I don't know why it's saying that.
You just have to log in.
Sorry about that. Yep, we're back.
Yeah, okay. When we're ready to go back. Okay.
We're back.
Here.
Little bit of a technical issue here. We're at IWM currently on the upside over 1.5%. We're going to take a look at two individual tickers for today. UAMY, that is up almost 8% on the day. Earnings revenue estimate for this company currently at $21.70 million, and it's set to announce its second quarter results on 7th of August. The time has not been specified as of yet. IRWD is currently also up over 5%. So Ironwood Pharmaceuticals is going to host its second quarter investor update call on Thursday, pre-market 8:30 a.m. So two tickers, UAMY up almost 8% on the day, and you have IRWD that's up almost over 5% on the day.
Thank you. Oh, thank you very much for that. CNCK, guys. Let's have a look at CNCK being called out by Bovin. Oh, I typed it wrong. CNCK. Let's see what this one is up to. Bovin. Light volume, as typical, because Bovin loves these light volume names. But let's throw in the ticker if we can. CNCK. If we can show the chart to Fabian, that would help. 254 area high here. 259 is the day high. Oh, this is moving, Bovin. It's got sporadic volume bars that come in at random times. You can see that 1020 big volume bar, 1130 big volume bar, 1220 another big volume bar. But look, it's got a nice bull flag pattern. I would say watch out for a move back into 250 to 245. But it's Rip City right now on CNCK. Looks pretty good. 270 high, Bovin. Get it. Bovin with a good call out there. So, you know, I'm going to wait until I see a little bit more vol come in on the day, but, you know, I'm going to keep it on watch, certainly, especially with that nice continuation breakout. And quite frankly, the fact that nothing else really is making a move here. Nothing, at least on my watch list. SXTC is trying to kind of hold 8 pennies, but that's a big Christmas tree retracement that I may not want to get involved with. Shout out to Reg 90210. I guess he's either from Beverly Hills or he likes one of those shows. Shout out to my man Reg 90210. Thank you for joining Trader TV Live as a premium member. Make sure to get my morning note every single morning at the YouTube homepage. Go over there, click posts, and you'll see a members only post at the bottom there. Thank you very much for joining, brother. I don't got anything, Joey, and everybody in the chat. If there's anything moving here. Not a leveraged ETF name. Like I see AXTX, AAOG, AAOX, and then you got Nebius as well, NEBX, NBIL, and BIG. But these are not the names that I want to trade, Assassino, because they are leveraged ETFs. They're not pure play, a small cap gapper. So I'm going to try to stay away from these if I can. But hey, if you like this, CRWU ripping up 34, 35%, CRWG, CWVX, all the leveraged ETF names. You got BEX as well. What leverage is this? This is, what is this, Bloom? It is Bloom. Yeah, Bloom Energy. Is this moving up again today? Get it, Bloom, up another 6%, still well off the highs though. BEX, LITX, AXTI, there's so many leveraged ETFs on there. I wish there would be a way to filter out these leverage ETFs. I guess maybe by market cap possibly, but then, you know, you may miss some others. So, yeah, guys, I don't have anything. HYFM being called out by Timothy. Let's have a look at that. HYFM.
How's SpaceX not on there? Oh, yeah, that's what we can do.
Let's see here, Joey. Let me just see HYFM. Yeah, brother. So this one was the big mover in the pre. It is recovering a little bit now, coming out there into about 230. But this would breach one of my rules about trading these bad boys south of the volume weighted average price. So HYFM halted to the upside, I believe, at $2.32. It's recovering nicely from that 145 area low, but still substantially below the 408, 410 area high that we got into the pre-market. The official high of the day is on a move down, ironically enough, right at the open, 320.
So there will be multiple levels of resistance. We're talking about 280 because VWAP is there. Then you're going to have to contend with 3, which was the kind of the bull flag consolidation area low. Then you've got to deal with 320, which is the official high of the day. And then I'll submit to you 380s also, 375 to 380, also going to be a big level because that was a top end of the bull flag consolidation range. And then you've got the 2 topping tail candles, which are in and around 4. So a lot of resistance on HYFM. But hey, when on a day where very little is moving, we're not going to get picky with there. We're going to put HYFM on the side chart and see if we can execute something positive on this one to the high side. But for now, we'll stay clear because it is halted. And I just want to give you guys the tap and all that kind of stuff. So just give me a sec to load that up on a trading screen. UPC will take off. We'll put HYFM on the NQ. So price here. So this is a NASDAQ name. So we'll be able to see the tap. It's 1 penny above the halt price. Halt price 232. Halt time 12:26:23. Earliest open is going to be 12:31:23. And the tap is currently showing $23. I want to mention that the volume weighted average price here is about 275, 280. And then you have $3 resistance, and then you have 320 resistance. So keep that in mind there because, you know, this might rip, but just put it into context so that you're not caught holding the bag. So very weak today, man. SXTC, Bovin says, multitasking, so in small cap. Yeah, I don't like SXTC, Bovin. And what a big fail that was and came right back down. So I'll steer clear of that one, Joey.
All right, man. Good stuff. So what we do have here, all right, we got a more, aside, listen, we know Adara got everything going on. So a more reliable source here, AMD, SpaceX, ANET, ALab, Opendoor, Booking.com. I think those are going to be the big ones tomorrow after the bell. So what we have here in SpaceX is a 15.3% expected move. So that isn't too bad whatsoever, guys, with a high of around $128. I'll take that, and a low of $94. I guess I'll take that if that's going to be the case. So, I mean, man, I didn't grab any more, and I think it's going to take a little bit more time, to be honest with you, before I do decide to. I'd rather grab something else. But who knows? Anything can happen, right? 13% expected move here on Opendoor with a high of $4.55, a low of $3.50, all right? Now, we had Caterpillar. We know Burry's short this bad boy, so we can take a look at the expected move come the bell tomorrow morning, or before the bell, I should say. 6.8%, so a high of around $880 and a low of around $767. McDonald's, Wayfair, and Hut 8. This is actually an interesting name because we've seen some of these Bitcoin miners kind of just pivot, strategically pivot, I guess, from mining Bitcoin into some of this cloud provision and data center play. So 12.7% expected move here, $126 of a high, and then a low of around $98.32. Uno momento, we're going to check. There's one more name that I didn't know. Okay, so Eli Lilly and Shopify, I think that is before the open. So a lot of activity here this week, guys. And Uber Technologies at 6:55 in the morning, Wednesday morning, that is. And Circle, a name that got downgraded this morning. But let's send it off to Sia.
SPY is currently up 1.2%. Let's take a look at what's market moving right now with these sectors. Electric tech, you have Nvidia, that's up 3%. Apple, that is currently a bit towards the downside, 0.85%. EVGO, MU, INTC, Cisco flat. RTX joining the pack. AMD, GE up 1%. Dell is up 3%. And you have, I just want to check the SNDK. SNDK up 5% on the day, not a bad look. But SCX, WDC that are down on the day, closer to 4%. WDC down over 4%. TXN down almost 2%. Tech services, this has been a very strong sector from earlier in the morning. Google, Microsoft, Meta, all up on the day. Google's up 5%. Microsoft up close to 5%, and Meta is soaring above 7%. Not a bad look for Meta here today. Oracle is up close to 8%, whereas Netflix, Palantir also up over 1.5% and 2.2% respectively. UPNW up 2.4% as well, and ACN flat on the day, name that I check all the time. Just checking it here as well. CRWD, that's also up over 3%, close to 4%. Finance. You have a mixed sentiment throughout this sector. Major names are currently trading flat, but EXP, an exception, that's up close to 2% on the day. And Robinhood, that's currently up over 5.5%, close to 6%, with URI also up 2.5%, and COF up 3.2%. Retail trade, you have Amazon up close to 5%. Walmart is currently flat but tilting a bit towards the red. We have Costco flat, Home Depot up almost 2%, TJX down almost 1%. Producer manufacturing, of CAT also reporting this week. AMAT, that's currently also in the green, almost 90%. LRCX down. You have DE up 3.2%. Consumer non-durables, you have KO and PM downside almost 1%. PEP and PG flat. Heltech, Lilly down 3%. J&J is down close to 1.5%. ABBV and MRK up over 2% respectively. Consumer durables, you have Tesla up to almost 3.5%. Consumer services, utilities, process industries, and industrial sectors, as well as health services, a bit of a mixed bag of stocks here today. I'm seeing a little bit of a green, not a lot of red here, but also definitely a bit of flattishness. Finally, to finish it off, let's take a look at transportation. Uber up 1.5%, UPS up close to 2%, Dash up almost 3.5%, and DAL up 4%, with UAL up 5%. Before we go back to the guys, let's go to Adara.
Let's take a look here at USO. Keep an eye here on USO in the market. No massive moves, but CBS reporting that according to U.S. officials, no new talks are planned with Iran. Now, this comes in spite of remarks made by U.S. President Donald Trump suggesting that there would be talks beginning on Monday. Now, according to this same CBS report, officials are saying that discussions are going to continue here through mediators involving U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff and Iran's negotiation team. As we know, earlier today, Iran basically saying they're not negotiating directly with the U.S., and they're saying current talks are just focusing on Oman, and I guess with Oman here for shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, they're not engaging with the U.S. So the back and forth of confusion continues with the U.S. and Iran, this time even from the U.S. camp. Back to you.
All right, Joey, DFNS is moving again. Here we go. It's coming to local area
High of the
highs.
day break.
Pardon me?
Yeah, high of the day break.
No, we're still, $3 away from that, but there goes 53 incoming into 54 here. What a clean hold of 48. I wasn't alive to that, but this one didn't print anything below $48. What a move here. We've got that 54 seller that we contended with last time. 55.91 is limit up. It's moving crazy again, so watch out for the 54 break. 54, we couldn't print. I think we printed maybe a little bit above at 54.41, something like that. There's 54. 56.48 limit up right now on DFNS. That would be 1 penny below the high of the day. Here it comes. Let's see. Do we get a move up? We got 54 break, but there's no continuation. Down goes Fraser into 53. Let's see if it holds up at 53, guys. A lot of price action, volatility here on DFNS as it found a great buyer, or a very convicted buyer, I would say, at 48. And now it's showing 55 options, man. Let's see what we got here. What do you got on your side?
All right, man. Good stuff. Let's see. Bitcoin still now breaking down. Market at a new high of the day and a slight pullback here in some of the larger cap names. Now, Caterpillar up 1%. I think there's just a little bit of a pullback. We still fully have this downtrend intact, and it doesn't look like it's going to be breached. Anything can happen, obviously, at the earnings report, but that is a pretty weak look. And how far are we off of the all-time highs now? 24%. Oh, man. Yeah, at the lows, 27%. I mean, it's not horrible, but I think it could be a good opportunity to get involved with some in a good dip by $1.63 dividend as well, too, there, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Paramount's guidance, we don't really care. Uber is a name that we were talking about, who is just such a tough look here, unfortunately. But what we can see is that the 64 level is holding up pretty well. Now, on the earnings report, I think there's a couple of things that can happen. We break through or we punch through the support system. If that's the case, then we're in a little bit of trouble. But as of right now, I'm not seeing anything that I'm in love with. Here's Amazon. Might have to wait for that 2:30, 3 o'clock hour in order for us to really start putting on some nice trades. I mean, I'm not going to be shorting the market all the way up here. It'd be best to wait for a micro pullback, and then maybe you can find some form of continuation with the tap into a new high of the day. Now, I think we're only a fraction of a percent at this point. We already were on the SPY in regards to a all-time high, 0.7 earlier this morning. At this point, it's just some couple of basis points, in my opinion, to see where we're currently sitting at. I've seen the Dow Jones was on fire as well, too, bright and early this morning. So, yeah, watch tomorrow, maybe even by the end of the day. You're 0.6% here at this point. It's going to hit all-time highs. It's not if, it's just a matter of when, really. So, yeah, IBIT, that's tough. We are at the top end of the range. We took our swings on this one. So I don't know if this is going to be a good opportunity for us to take another short. I don't want to continuously try considering everything is super strong. It's more or less, hey, where can we find a pullback and then look for the continuation to the long side. So with that being said, we have to wait for something. DFNS?
I screwed up. I hit the wrong freaking key there. Oh, man, we took a good print. We took 52s into 55s, and I just hit the wrong key. I was trying to add into the dip into 52. I screwed up.
Oh, would you sell into the?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
That's usually the opposite. That's okay.
That's the opposite.
That was a nice breakout, though.
Yeah, it looked all right. I was keeping an eye on it for that break of 50. That 52 held, breaks all the way up to $54. So it's expensive too, man. I mean, at this point, 54 bucks, up 88% here today. Yeah, all right, so we can try a short here on the NASDAQ considering we are at the high of the day and our risk to reward would be pretty good. I'll put on a little something for you guys back home just because the opportunity is there. But if it breaks 67, 61, then we have to get out of the position without any question. We're not going to hold this against us. So there we are. We're short this market looking for a move back in.
All right, man. I see Ritter starting to make a move. RITR is kind of reawakening here and starting to rip up a little bit. 30 pennies, so you're gonna have to trade this carefully, but I'm looking for a possible 50 penny move here if RITR can catch a bid. There was certainly a buyer of note that we have to say on at the 25 penny area, so something to look out for there on RITR. But yeah, nothing doing, at least for me at the moment. Just made that stupid mistake on DFNS. That was a no good, but that's kind of the way that works there. So let's just add that. It's not even, it's not updating. DFNS coming back into that $50 area, so be on the lookout for that. Let's keep an eye here on Ritter. Rejecting 30 pennies. Let's see if it's able to get above 30 pennies right now. So good luck here on RITR. 39.86 high a day. It'll have to clear that 30 pretty decisively for me to get involved, but I definitely got to keep eyes here on DFNS because this one can make a lot of money pretty quickly here. Now, we saw that shelf form at 50. I wonder if 50 holds here as a dip trade. So that's what I'd be looking for there. You'd have to give it to 48 if you got in at 50 because that's where the buyer was. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up pretty low into 50 there. Let's see if we can kind of get that dip trade. If it gives it to me, fantastic. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's kind of the cost of doing business. But there's Ritter above 30 into 31. Ritter could be reawakening here and reclaiming structure into 40. So be on the lookout for that, guys. Good look here for RITR. It's kind of working its way back up. I'd be saying watch out for resistance at 33 pennies, though, because that was the low end of the consolidation range. So CCXI. Somebody says there. Let's have a look. CCXI. Yeah, not a bad one, man. Not a bad one. Churchill Capital Corp. It's a SPAC. It's a blank check company. 1558. Yeah, there's definitely things that we can take off the side chart to put CCXI. So I'm going to throw that one on there. Thank you for that. We're going to keep a close eye on CCXI. Oh, mother.
Oh, man.
You got to be kidding me. Oh, missed my entry by like 10 pennies and now it's ripping up. So that's the cost of doing business. DFNS is him at the moment. Coming back into 50, holding up, and looks like it may want to make another move into 54 or something there. So 52 acting as support. And I tried to get that 50 buy, but it just didn't give it to me. So bit of a tough one though, Joey. What are you looking at, brother?
Yeah, same thing, guys. We're sitting in this short now. You can see we're short the NASDAQ from 67.42. Every little dip just gets bought back up. You can see this bull flag starting to form as well. But what you want to do is try to catch as close as you can to the top end of that range. And I mean, with where we're currently sitting at, I can't complain too much because our out. It's all about risk to reward, right? This is what we talk about and just continuously try to pound the table. I mean, I'm not going to get at the top end of this at this point, but still, regardless, it's 20 cents away from our entry to where we're proven wrong. And give it a little bit more room because 62 would put us right up. Yeah, 62 is perfect, to be honest with you. A little bit of room. And then by that time, if the market really wants to go on a big time run before it wants to pull back in, we get a better risk reward. We get out of the position, and then we look for that re-entry on that trade. But slowly starting to get the breakdown right now. It's just the question of how deep it's going to be, all right? So we'll try to hold this off. We want to look for that next structure. There might be some support right at around this range, 67.27, which we can look to take a little bit off. But we obviously, if we're going to hold it for 20 cents, where's that 40-cent marker? That's going to put us right at $67. Okay, so yeah, let's do it. If we're going to go 2-to-1, that's why it's so hard. Like, you give it 20 cents to the top side, it doesn't look so far away. But then when you're coming back in here, $67 might be a little bit of a stretch. Your boy is asking for here on the TQ, Sharif, for a move back in.
Get it, Joey.
I mean, that's all right. 67, we'll take it, man. Let's hold on to this. And then guess what? Come 2 o'clock, we'll go on a nice little run here for that second leg higher. NVDA doesn't want to break down. I'll take it all day. I grabbed a little bit. I actually bought some more this morning in the pre-market. That's when I typically buy some. It's just, again, it's just like a couple here, a couple there, and the next thing you know, you're built into a big-time position. But look at this bull flag. I was saying to Jose, man, look at this flag, look at this. And I'm like, Sharif's been like, Joe, man, it's looking pretty good. And I think if we break this trend, then I do believe we'll have that push for that previous all-time high, which is $236. Now, let's see how deep of a pullback we can get. Thanks for the update on anything, Brooke, on what? Oh, 6-7, yeah, anytime, guys, on that one. Is there a reason why the market up like this today? I mean, USO down, market up, right? So you have to take that into consideration. That's probably the narrative. But you see how you pull back into 67.40 and then it's just immediately bought right back up. It's freezing in here, man.
It's pretty. It's so pretty.
We're going to limit up, baby. Let's go. We got 53. Here's 58. 58.79. Limit up on Diffness. Let's go, Diffness. 58.52. That ends the freaking trade for me here, Joe. Boom, into DFNS. What fat finger mistake, baby. Just get right back in. 60-12 limit up, baby. Let's go on DFNS. There goes DFNS now clearing 110% on the day. $60 incoming on this monster. This is the gift that keeps on giving. DFNS, and it held structure quite beautifully. I mean, this is a major mistake on my part. That 48 buyer that was there that didn't even allow a print to drop below 48. Now we're at 58. 58, 52. That's 10 good ones in the money there. I could have been. Alas, I did not take 10 good ones.
Wow.
Pardon me?
That's $10. That's good, man.
I didn't take $10, but what I was showing was that 48 shelf. I ended up getting in 53, but we took it to 58.
That's five.
This was a good trade, Joe, and we're decidedly positive on it. DFNS continuing to go here, guys. We could be seeing 60 sooner rather than later, but I want to see exactly where this one stops up. So the initial resistance that we kept seeing was $54 to $55. It is a dollar range. It is a very volatile stock. So what I want to see is if we make it up to 60, do we come back into that 54, 55 where I can kind of freshen up a little bit there and maybe get a little bit more? So I'm going to keep my eye on DFNS here. It seems to be the best of the bunch, especially since Ritter just lured everybody in and is failing again into 32. I was thinking Ritter maybe resistance at 33. I guess the short sellers were a little gung-ho today. They didn't wait for 33. They got it at 32. But that's, that's not really the point. The point is it's failing and continuing to drop back again. So I want to stay clear of that one for the moment. But what I want to do is I want to get more in at 54s here on DFNS. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on this. Shout out to the individual who called out Churchill Capital, CCXI. This is a SPAC, and it has a little bit less than $900 million market cap. CCXI. I don't know. I don't usually look at the headlines, but since it's SPAC, it's jogging my curiosity. And this doesn't have anything here. It just has price spike up. And even on the 30th, 31st, I'm not seeing any organic headlines, going all the way back to the 28th. So I don't know why the hell Churchill Capital Corp is moving up, but sometimes it doesn't really matter. But this is a SPAC though. So I'd like to kind of have a little bit of an idea why this is moving, because it's supposed to be hanging out at $10, right? We know how the SPACs work. So trade that one carefully. And while you think about that, C is going to tell you about Sector Watch. Money Talks. I got it.
So the major story that I do want to talk about is the U.S. and the Japanese intervention here of the currency. So let's take a look. Washington, as we do know it, has decided to join Japan in supporting the yen, and this also has prompted a few questions over what has motivated this rare coordinated intervention. Analysts are also pointing concerns over the U.S. Treasury as well as Japan's financial system. So this coordinated intervention is the first that has taken place since the U.S.-Japan joint operation to buy the yen in 1998. Also the first coordinated intervention since involving the two countries since the G7 had acted to weaken the yen after the earthquake that it had in 2011. Now, additionally, the U.S. is also selling euros. Japan has confirmed as of today that it had carried out the yen buying intervention on Friday with the U.S. Department of Treasury. So rather than buying yen and selling dollars, two market sources have told multiple news agencies, also Reuters reporting that the Treasury had instead bought yen for euros. So this is also confirming a report that was made by the Financial Times reporting the same thing earlier. You have the USD JPY pair that's down 0.32%, trading around the 156 region right now. Just want to take a look at the dollar levels as well. Trading around the 99 region, the DXY is currently up 0.16%.
Oh boy, all useless.
Oh man, that's crazy, bro. That's man.
And she lives in Europe too. That's why she needs those
That's
languages.
mad.
Like, oh man, got to tell her exactly how it is, Joey.
Yeah, today, man.
There goes DFNS back into the area high. 56 is the area high. We are right there right now. We're gonna about to take out 59 here, baby. Well, maybe not in a direct way, but look, I'm thinking 60 here, guys. It's just how it ends up happening, if it's in a straight line or what. Now, I didn't get my 54s, so I haven't refreshed the entry on this one. I don't like punching in at highs unless I have a very clear technical level that I can pick up off. That technical level is yelling 54, but I think we're a little bit far away from it now. I don't know how I feel punching DFNS at these levels, man. I want something like the 48 accumulation that happened there.
Bro, you just told me to hop on it now.
Well, I said you should be looking at it. I didn't say punch in.
How you don't like it?
Jeez, my lord, you're taking me too literally here. I should be looking at it.
Can't take everything for face value, man.
Nick, Sharif, Path, same setup as DFNS. Say less, Nick. Remember was it you, Nick, that told me to look at Path last week? I was like, yo, this is not a small cap gapper. I don't know if it's the same setup, brother. We're at the day high right now on DFNS. We're not at the day high on Path, 1321, 1312, but I see what you're saying, stair-stepping up, but I wouldn't correlate the two so much because one's at day's high, one's not. One's doing volume, one's really not. But thank you, Nick, for pointing that out. 58.81 now options, man. The official high of day on DFNS, that's about 30 pennies higher since last we spoke. But I'll submit to you, there is, some trouble here. Printing and holding above 58, right? That's what it feels like to me, but I could be wrong on this. You're gonna have to give this room, guys. If you are not giving DFNS room, then you're subjecting yourselves to premature stops, premature wicks out, and those are what really, number one, they can add up. Number two, they're emotionally draining and they're quite frustrating.
Yeah.
Especially if you're, a quick trader like myself with this kind of stuff, right? Like you just hate to get in a position and then be immediately wicked out because you put a boneheaded stop. And there it goes, options, man, into $59, $59.29, the high of the day. Here comes 60 on DFNS. We're up 111%. We're looking for more, man. Big move up here as the volume does start picking up. And I'm not even talking that big a volume. 7.4 million shares traded on the day on a $59 name by 10-1. So we're looking for more here, Joey, as everything else continues to suck. Boo. Everything else. Not liking anything else at the moment. Going to focus on DFNS.
All right, good stuff. Neil, you got pizza.
Crony.
Neil bought pizza, but we have pizza right there. No one's touched it yet. Which is
well, we didn't even show it off, man.
Yeah, we didn't even show it. Yeah, go grab the pizza here. Yeah, you didn't know what was happening, man. No, but in all seriousness, guys, let's see. Now, if you head into the lower time frame, Sharif, we got to do the pizza review. Someone said, hey, we got to Oh my God, it's our guy too as well. So there it is, pizza, guys. You might. I don't believe you have this in the States. This is a good old Canadian.
This is pure Canadian.
This is
stuff
pure
right here,
Canadian
guys.
stuff.
You guys
Dave
don't know about
Portnoy
this.
actually did a review on it here.
You guys don't even know about
Other
this.
than that, if this really starts to work out for us, we're gonna add a little bit more shares here off the low.
My man. Hope
See
you
what we
print
got,
on that,
man.
Joey. Should we do the reveal?
Yeah, of course.
The pizza reveal.
Let's see what we got. How's it
So
looking?
shout out. I just wanted to shout him out. I still can't remember his name. Let's get this out. There we go. Oh, look,
he
Neil.
actually did
Look
it.
at the screen,
Oh
Neil.
my God.
It's an entire
Treat
pizza,
it.
Neil Roberts.
Dangerous,
Just
man.
for you, my. Did you see that little giggle? He just giggled a little bit. That
Bro,
was
I
hilarious,
swear we got
man.
2 pineapple pizzas.
Look at the monster
Holy
pineapple
cow.
here, all for Neil Roberts and company because he just loves pineapple pizza. Shout out to my man Neil. What is that, ham, Joey?
Yeah, it's ham, my boy.
It's ham, right?
It's not salami or whatever you said the last one was.
You're not going to let me live that down, huh?
I mean,
All right.
prosciutto
Let's
or
look
whatever.
the other one here. All right, shout out to
It's dual.
Duolingo.
No, it's
Dua
dual.
Lipa?
Pineapple. Here.
Oh, dual pineapple.
Sharif suggested get the pineapple.
I
man.
said
Hey,
on my
crazy
life.
with the
On my life. He
dual.
may have
Get the
misunderstood.
dual pineapple.
So now, Neil, as a parting gift,
Where's
you
the
not
parting?
only
Where's he
just,
going?
I don't know, man, on vacation? Who cares? You not only get one pineapple pizza all for yourself to devour, but Neil, we're going to send you
extra
home with
pineapple.
2 pineapple pizzas.
Man, don't let this stuff go to waste, man.
Man, he's giving me the dirty look.
See
Man. I
us.
better tread carefully
Where is
here,
he?
man. I better tread carefully.
How come you didn't eat any yet? What are you eating?
Hold on, you got eggs?
From where you get the
Okay.
chicken bowl
Yo,
from?
she had eggs there, bro. I was about to go visit her
Oh,
plate.
Poulet Rouge. That's way out there, isn't it? That's far, no? Eden Center? All right, so there we got the. Listen, that pizza can't go to waste, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what kind of game you guys think we're playing around here, but we don't let that food go to waste.
Telling
So,
me, bro.
better get to eating. I don't know if Adara has had any. Oh no, she got the place next. Yeah, she got the place next door. I've seen Assassino walk in with some food as well too.
Yeah, you can't. We can't ask Assassino what he got. there,
But then Ramin, I don't know if
question.
Ramin's dabbled into any of it or Fabian. So
Ram?
it looks like your boy might have to do a number on something.
Ram
But
was
don't
in my
forget,
good
we got to
books
go to the
today.
gym after. Best trading channel on the planet. Love you all. SF2 bit was
We
great.
love you, bro.
Keep it up, everyone. It's
Coroni.
amazing content, says Coroni.
We love you, Coroni, man.
Listen, you're my type of people.
Yeah,
My
straight up.
type, like, I mean, it doesn't cost much to just be nice, and
No.
regardless of the super chat or not, we thank you very much for that one.
We do.
I love
legit,
kind
man.
words. Yeah, exactly, man. It means worlds. But anyways, aside from not anyways, but thank you once again for that. Hey, you guys, why not? Oh yeah, we never got over this
No,
one.
we didn't. We really didn't.
Neil Zingle. Hey guys, why not buy leverage ETF in your long-term hold stocks
him,
like
Joey.
NVDA? Well,
Tell him,
again,
Boca
we
de
talk
K,
about
bro.
this literally. Yeah, we talk about this every day. Okay. So when you have these leverage products, it's great when everything's moving up and you're trending, but on the way down is where you get really hurt. And if you've read anything about what's been going on in South Korea, and before the headlines started to hit, I was like, uh-oh, this is gonna turn really ugly. But what happens is you have the rebalancing, and then I grow fighting. Yeah, now you're paying attention. Is that, think about it. So if you have a 25% pullback in a name, you now have a 50% pullback in the 2x leverage product. Now, what does that mean? That means that leverage product has to have a 100% return in order to just get back to where you were. The rebalancing and the decay within those specific vehicles, they are not meant to be held as investments. They're intraday and they are momentum style plays where you get in and you try to get out as soon as possible.
Listen, look at this. Kalshi is super interesting. Man. Accuracy, you can make the argument either way, but what I've noticed is that there's a good amount of accuracy when there's a lot of volume on it, when there's a lot of people participating. So when will the traffic at the Strait of Hormuz return to normal? So before January 1st, 2027, 47% of people think that way. Before April 1st, 2027, 55. So we are very much in the after the new year kind of thing. So
Yeah, bro. This guy.
And then this U.S.-Iran nuclear deal. Oh my days, Joseph, look how long this is down the road. January 1st, 2028, 43% of respondents. January 20th, 2029, 52% of people, or bettors, or whatever you want to call this, participants. I don't even know what to call it. So I don't know, man. We're really looking down. Oh my days. This is really long dated here, man. Yeah. And then you've got some other stuff like crypto markets and stuff like that, or the SAVE Act, Mitch McConnell, who I hope, obviously does recover from the issues that he has there. But wow, we're really looking at some longer-winded oil pressure here, Joey, especially if you believe some of these betting markets.
Think about how long this Ukraine-Russia conflict, where we thought would be over in a matter of months, has been now how many years since this thing really started to fire off? Once you start launching rockets at each other, it makes things significantly more difficult. Yeah, all right, guys. So there it is. This is what I'm talking about here. Downfall, bull versus bear. Woo. Yeah, I mean, this was yeah, exactly. No, but listen, Downfall. You don't need to woo or do anything that in the face. But what I'm getting at is, I believe you're right. It's just we haven't broken down. And if that was the case, we would have already. All right. Well, I shouldn't say that. Anything can happen at any given moment. You get a truth posted, and then next thing you know, the market decides to come back in towards the volume-weighted average price, and that would be the primary target. Now, at some point, unless it's just, hey, we're not going to hit the sell button today, and it's just a flat-out buy program, considering USO is down 6 1/3, market on the way up, it may make things a little bit more difficult here. Should have paid some more attention to this, to be honest with you. So you can see this hefty gap down within USO, and then sure enough, we're getting a strong day in some of the Mag 7 names. 3%. Google up almost 6%. Apple's the only, Broadcom's -2. Combined, they're 1%. SpaceX up 1%. Even SpaceX is up 1%. And Microsoft 5 1/5. Amazon
Meta,
up 4 3/4. Meta's on one today. I'm going to buy a little bit more here momentarily down at this 593. Talked about the supply zone up at the 680 marker. Oh, am I not tapped into Unity here? Because I'm not hearing anything. Yeah, I am. I'm good. But yeah, other than that, guys, maybe a little bit more difficult. Our risk to reward is there for us. And if we get this move back into 67, then we are laughing.
All right, Adira, did you want to start the first story and then we can kind of just get it going, or how did you want to do this? Okay, let's send it up to Adira. She's going to start the first story. We're going to start the new segment a little early.
Are we going through your thing or?
See us.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, as always.
I get it.
Yeah, take your time.
The first story here is Palantir, but we'll mention a couple different names that are going to be reporting this week, because why not? Just the biggest ones, but I do want to start, of course, with PLTR, because not only are they one of the biggest names reporting this week, they're also the first major name reporting after the bell this week. We'll get Snapchat after the bell as well, but of course, it's going to be a little bit more of a lower key affair compared to PLTR. Monday, August 3rd today. Estimated release time, 4:05 p.m. They sometimes will come out a little bit earlier, but usually not later than that 4:05 p.m. mark. Revenue estimate, roughly $1.81 billion. EPS estimate, 35 cents per share. This revenue estimate, should they make it, that'll reflect more than 80% year-over-year growth. Now, last quarter, they posted 85% year-over-year growth. So if they post 85% or less, that'll actually be stagnant year-over-year revenue growth for the first time in I just looked at this, like 10 quarters. So you don't want to slow down of that growth. That's going to be significant change in pace for PLTR. You want to see that growth continue to rise. And also, if they post this $1.8 billion, it's going to be in line more or less with their estimates here they provided for Q2. This is also, their estimates were well above the prior analyst estimates. So either way, they guided better than expected. Their fiscal 2026 outlook, we'll have to see if they raise it again, because last quarter, they raised it from $7.65 billion to $7.66 billion. That was the new guidance. Prior guidance here was $7.18 billion. So they raised their fiscal 26 sales guidance last quarter. Let's see if they can raise that again. Investors are going to be looking at commercial agreements, because we know government has usually really been the majority, or the highlight, I guess, of Palantir's earnings. But lately, commercial has been continuing to grow a little bit faster. So not quite as fast as government, but definitely picking up the pace. So let's see if we continue to see that commercial agreement growth. This stock, though, is down year to date. This is one of the best performers in the NASDAQ as of last year. And certainly its inaugural year in the NASDAQ and SPY in 2024. So let's see if we see a bit of an uptick in the stock, because you certainly don't want to see any more declines after that weakness. Other names that are reporting this week that are going to be of note, there are a whole bunch, so I'm not going to mention them all here, but you've got, tomorrow morning we have names like Caterpillar, but you're also going to have after the bell tomorrow, AMD, SpaceX, you're going to get Astera Labs, Arista Networks, all of those are going to be pretty hot ticket. And you're going to get Wednesday after the bell, you're going to get the likes of Apple, some software names, so lots of earnings to talk about this week. We're going to start, though, of course, with PLTR tonight.
Absolutely. And one thing I'll be looking out for, as we always talk about around the Palantir earnings time, is commercial revenue versus government revenue. We know last time commercial revenue came in at 717 million. Government revenue, very close to that, 733. It wasn't always that way. Sometimes, at least from what I remember, sometimes it was 2-to-1, even 3-to-1. Now we almost got 1-to-1 here. 717 for commercial, 733 for government. That's the last report. I wonder what it comes in at this time. Does commercial finally exceed government revenue? I think we probably wait a few more quarters for that. But let's also talk about their $1 billion share repurchase program that they just quietly and conspicuously canceled in the middle of the year. And then they just stopped buying it back, and they said very little about it. In fact, at the time of the stoppage, they had bought very little back. I don't have the exact number right now. I'll look into it. But they stopped the share buyback program, and the quantum that was authorized, very little of it has been exhausted. And let's also talk about their boot camps, AIP boot camps. This is how they grow their top line. They get their corporate guys, the engineers from some of their clients to come in, do a boot camp, teach these guys exactly how to integrate AIP. And that's been the needle mover for them. But what we have seen lately, especially the last few quarters, is the average contract value out of the AIP bootcamp drop lower and lower and lower. To me, that means corporations are tightening the belt here on some of these, like, let's just call it AI spend. And that may not be a great thing for Palantir. And we already know the haired one was live to this issue. He was the one on Squawk Box pounding the table, saying that the cost per token was too high and that he was part of the problem. He didn't use those words, but essentially he's like, I'm making money from this too. But he didn't see it as a good kind of longevity driver to have such a high cost per token, because you're just going to have these CEOs and CFOs say, what am I getting for all this money that I'm spending? Where is all the productivity? Where's the ROI? So those are the three things that I want to comment on: commercial versus government, the inconspicuous stopping of the share buyback program, and of course, the bootcamp average value per contract dropping for PLTR. Joey.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I believe there's a couple of things here that happened with this name. I mean, it fell victim to a couple of these new fads that we've seen step into the market now. The first one being SaaSmageddon. It got hit initially off of that. And then, as Sharif was actually just mentioning, is that, hey, he was on CNBC himself, and I think he fell victim to what I do believe is this token maxing as well, too.
Oh.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, there's multiple headwinds for this. Sharif brought up a couple key metrics in regards to commercial and government revenue. Now, they're starting to expand globally. They have a deal with Japan and Germany. I'm going to be looking specifically at that global revenue to grow. I'm not saying double digits, but if we're in the high single digits, I think that can be positive. But the thing is, it's extremely expensive on the street right now. And if whatever bar has been set, unfortunately, with a name like Palantir, it needs to drastically exceed that limit that has been set, the consensus estimates from Wall Street. If not, I'm not going to say that it's necessarily the case, but it could get hit pretty heavy. And it's had a tough year from a performance standpoint, without any question. But when you set the bar so high, unfortunately, when the market prices you in, you need to exceed that level. So there's a lot on the shoulders of Alex Karp.
Can I say one other thing, too?
Yeah,
I'm starting to feel that regardless of political affiliations, whether you sit on the left, whether you sit on the right, there is now growing disdain for Palantir as kind of being the poster boy for the surveillance state.
Yeah.
Almost, right? Like, Fabian, are you with me on that? Are you thinking the same thing here? Yeah, so Fabian's nodding his head. And this is some of the kind of the sentiment I'm starting to get, brother. That it's, this is, I don't want to say it's the poster boy, I think it's an exaggeration. I mean, they're not the poster boy for that. There's a lot of other people. But what I want to say is, it's just watch out for these political winds, how they blow, right?
Yeah.
Because initially it's a small breeze, 2-3 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
And then it blows pretty hard.
But especially when you put yourself out there like that, though, right?
Pardon
like
me?
When you put yourself out there, like Alex Karp, like you're putting yourself out in the public,
man.
right? So
He's gonna make himself a target.
Exactly, you're making yourself more of a target. Don't forget, in the earlier stages, I believe it was early 25, it was maybe late 24. Dan Ives and company, Wedbush Dan Ives, is pounding the table about Palantir, saying this is at the time before we went through all of this token maxing craze. He was like, this is the purest AI play you could have. Just in regards to the software that Palantir was, calling it the Messi of AI, and that necessarily hasn't been the case as of late.
Let me throw another curveball your way, right? So we've been talking a lot about, and Katina mentioned it this morning, how these frontier AI models, they kind of take your information, they figure out how you do business, and then all of a sudden they're in competition with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So we've been talking about that. What more or what deeper of a company is ensconced in your own operations in a Palantir, the AIP? It literally has to be in everything you do because it has to understand everything that you're doing. So if there was ever kind of a situation where a service that you're using can be your competitor tomorrow, would it not be, by definition, Palantir? Because their AIP program literally has to focus around exactly how you operate.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
So do you feel maybe like, even though I was kind of mentioning, Joey, like the kind of the political wins about Palantir, but this is a business problem now. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I completely understand what you're saying. I don't know. It's difficult to say because as you mentioned, but I'm just going to take a different aspect. It's just Alex Karp's military views as well, too, which people tend to not like. How he's just right? You know what I mean? So it's just like, hey, man, like organic seeking missiles and all of this stuff.
Department of Offense. He got his wish there a little bit with the change Department of War a little bit, right?
He did. But I don't know. When he's out there, I think the company is going to be doing just fine in the long run. It's just a form of brand damage when you just put yourself out there, like kind of Alex Karp has over the past.
Yeah, it's like you're super polarizing. Right? People either really like you or really dislike you.
Or they're against you. Right? It happened to Elon when he was doing his thing with Donald Trump.
Yeah. Oh,
you know what I
goodness,
mean?
Yeah, and in other things as well. Like when he started speaking out on politics subsequent to 22-23 is when the tide really started to turn for likability for Musk, I think, right? When he started talking politics is when it started to. Let's go on to the next story, because Amazon and Bristol Myers Squibb, obviously very big deal today. I have many different points I want to point out. We'll talk about some of the headlines. These are two almost very similarly sized companies, right, that could combine to make a $400 billion mega merger. The interesting part is here, no single company actually has the buying power to buy out the other. So analysts are kind of just estimating. We don't know the exact amount, but analysts are estimating that AstraZeneca's ability to buy out a company is maxed out at $37 billion. BMS's, or if you want to use the ticker BMY, I'm just going to say BMS, Bristol Myers Squibb, has about $32 billion. So it's more like a coming together of equals, if you kind of can think about it that way. It's also going to be likely mostly stock-based, I would say, for the great majority, the great portion of the acquisition or the merger. Let's go ahead and call it that, because, well, they don't have the cash. And then, it could also be, highly dilutive, as if they're going to have to issue new shares. Shareholders are going to have to, look at what shareholders always have to look at when there's a merger or an acquisition in play. Am I getting enough per share for this acquisition? And then two, do I want to be part of this other company, right? I got into BMY, I got into AZN. I didn't get into BMY and AZN. So now that it's going to be that way, is this something that I want to be a part of? So sometimes investors leave. So that's the first point that I want to make. Second point is there's a lot of overlap between these two companies in the area of medicine that they cover. Specifically, I'm talking about immuno-oncology, where both these bad boys have an active, a main drug, with BMS's Opdivo, one being kind of the blockbuster, the more recent one. So there's a lot of overlap between them. And when there's a lot of overlap between them, the regulator, they get very finicky, right? So think about the FTC, think about the EC as well. They got to give the nod for this to go through. The other thing that I want to mention here is the same reason that could prevent this deal from going through is the same reason this actually makes sense. There is a hidden operational upside in combining these therapies together, right? A lot of economies of scale, if you have similar inputs, advertising dollars, et cetera, et cetera. So the reason that it could get kiboshed is actually the reason that it makes the most sense from a business perspective. And last but not least, it looks like, remember when AstraZeneca, they had their direct US listing, UK institutional investors kind of were a little bit worried about that. So some people feel this merger could kind of be the last leg in AZN moving their tax status from the United Kingdom into the United States. They still haven't done that, even though they listed directly on American Exchange. So think about that possibly because it does make a big difference. We know the two tax brackets in the different countries, they are not the same. Joey, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. We have a couple super chats here that
baby.
we'll go over. Cheese in a chair. As always, great stuff. Great news. Last month, I decided to hire the 3 people who were fired from SMCI for smuggling to head up my ethics committee here at SCDI. And they just approved our new early Trump Truth subscription.
Hold on.
Yeah, read it again.
$100,000.
Yeah, exactly. And he says, anyways, we signed up for the gold package and I'll be posting the truth here 5 days in advance.
We're talking
of Trump's
seconds
truth.
here, bro.
Yeah, bro, this is 5 days in advance. This guy is hilarious, man. Yeah, thank you very much for that, Daniel.
I don't like this at all, though. I got to tell you.
What do you mean?
When he did that, when he posted that on the weekend, I was like, okay, fine. Yeah, you're going to give the algos access to your API because that's who's going to use it. The humans are not going to be using that. And the algos are just going to react faster than people.
Yeah.
And the rich will get richer. And
but
you see what I'm going with this?
Yeah, I
like,
do.
Why does he do that?
But it's only going to last a couple more years unless he gets a 3rd term.
Dude,
you don't even know if I don't know if he would get reelected. It is what it is at this point. Like this guy's officially started putting tickers in his truths. He's putting tickers in the.
Now we're gonna do.
They're putting tickers in the truth, Sharif. That's it. I mean.
Which is exactly what the algos want, so they can react to it.
Yeah, well.
Like, why does he do that? Did nobody tell him the algos are going to be the ones that benefit here? Like,
if he's not gonna get in trouble, why wouldn't he do it? It's the American stock market. It's American companies, and he's all about trying to make these companies as valuable as possible.
His company is valuable as possible. His company, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but yeah, look, he's a grifter, says Hesh 44. Man, I wouldn't go so far as that, but I just don't like some of these decisions that he makes. I don't have to like everything about it.
Think about when Elon was going crazy on X, being like putting in Dogecoin and Bitcoin and doing.
Well, don't forget, Elon got dinged a little bit.
He got a slap on the wrist for it.
No, well, yes, but there was the other part where he didn't disclose his full position in Twitter at the time. If he had disclosed his full position, people would have smelt out that he was trying to buy it, right?
Yeah.
And so he got dinged for that, I think, believed by the SEC, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're eating the dogs.
You're not wrong,
the
bro.
Cats. But yeah, I mean, remember, wasn't Elon doing? He's like, hey, yeah, you could officially buy like a Tesla with your Dogecoin and stuff. Whatever happened to that?
Yeah, I think he dinged that.
Yeah, well,
canceled that.
How'd that work out?
Should we talk a little Baba?
Yeah, I thought we were going to Echo Star, but that's all right.
Echo Star, yeah, no, I'm not doing any. Boy,
all right, you want to talk Ali? You want to talk? You want to talk?
You want to read that out? Give me a chance to read through.
No, not really. I thought we got Adara back there.
Well, Adara's not doing the readout, bro. She just wanted to comment on the first.
Oh, on the first one there. All right, yeah, no problem. We can pull up. You want to do Alibaba? Let's fire it up.
Yeah, let's do Baba.
All right, guys. Alibaba has unveiled its latest and most powerful Qwen 3.8 Max as of today. The model will be released next week and will take one of the most powerful models in the history of Baba's Qwen family of AI models to date. This model will also support the context window of up to 1 million tokens. Now, the model capabilities also include coding, real-life work, research, long horizon tasks, and visual intelligence. Qwen 3.8 Max can also code highly autonomous for weeks with little human input. In one of the internal tests, the model has spent 16 days building and improving an AI code tool by writing code, testing it, fixing errors, and refining its work on its own. It can also manage real-world workloads such as reviewing legal documents, conducting financial research, or architectural 3D models. Its visual intelligence spans being able to understand 100-page documents, television series, or 100-hour live streams and turning them into searchable, interactive knowledge hubs. What do you think about this model, this Qwen 3 model here? I actually have a...
Go ahead.
No. Do you want me to... Okay, so...
Yeah.
Okay, so we've had this conversation based on the efficiency of the compute, right? The term that follows along with token maxing. So right now what we have is a picture of where we use the token usage, the compute power is cheaper with these Chinese models compared to what we're seeing with these frontier models. But the real question, Lang, for me is, we talk about how it's cheaper, but you need to use more compute in order to have the same output.
If you're to the Chinese.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're the Chinese.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have the GB300.
Right,
mass.
exactly. Yeah. So at the end of the day, if you need more tokens for an output compared to what we're seeing in the higher base models, whether it be the Anthropic's Claudes and the ChatGPTs, is it really cheaper considering you're using more energy, even though it's from a less token standpoint from the output and what we're seeing some of the frontier models?
So I got to answer back and say, yes, it is. And they're subsidizing it. You'll see in my comments in a second. But on the other side of the coin, you have to think about this. The Chinese, number one, don't have a money problem.
Yeah.
They don't have a mass chip problem. If you're talking about the Huawei Ascend, and they don't have an energy problem, brother. They
don't have
terawatts.
Yeah, exactly.
They add terawatts of energy. We add megawatts and gigawatts.
Well, the money I guess we can argue that. They got plenty of money.
Yeah.
They got plenty. But I mean, hey, these frontier models have plenty of money as well too.
Oh no doubt about that.
They do.
No doubt about
They
that.
have that.
You're trying to say
but
that
they have.
may be able not
but
to keep
what?
up.
What they do have is, in my opinion, is an unfair advantage when it comes to the energy.
Big time. But it's not because they got lucky. They added the energy.
They added it. Well, because they don't have as much regulation here over there compared to what we have here,
now
right?
You're talking.
It's like you have states like New York is like you're not building these data centers here. You're not doing that. It's going to cost you, so it slows down your build out.
We're seeing that. We're seeing the political winds change against data centers at the moment. It's harder and harder to build. All right. So this one has 2.4 trillion parameters. But as with a lot of these frontier models, that's just too much to run at one time. So what this is able to do is it's able to use a technology called the, what is it called? Mixture of Experts, MOE. And this allows you, guys, DFNS is ripping up. It just got into 61. You got to be on the lookout here. DFNS, it's ripping Assassino, 6150. Here comes 62. Get it, Bovin. Bovin's killing it on DFNS. Good job, Bovin. So this mixture of experts allows you to run a huge LLM and then kind of just only use the parts that you need. So think about having like a zillion PhDs all under one roof, and then you don't need all the PhDs to answer your question at one time, just the PhDs that are relevant to your query. And that's what the mixture of experts is. The benefit of that, of course, is it allows you to use less compute. Less compute, I'm sure you know, equals less energy. So I do like this kind of development, this mixture of experts. It's not new, but first time I'm hearing the Chinese using it. That's number one. Number two, this is not open weight yet. More on that in a second. But they did promise that as early, I should say, as next week, we may have an open weight version of Qwen 3.8 Max. Let's wait up for that. So Sharif, what the hell is this open weight and why should I care about it? You will care about it. Let me tell you why. Because we just finished talking about, Joseph and I, about these frontier models taking your hard-earned data and competing with you. You want to throw, all your customer relation management information into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to make, the necessary correlations and connections so you can improve your workflow? Well, ChatGPT is learning about your business when it does that. So how do you protect against that? You bring the LLM in-house and you run it on a server in here. So you get the entire Qwen 3.8 Max, but it's not being run on a server in China. It is being run locally here on Yonge Street. And the beautiful part about that is
You keep all your information here, and you can build an application layer on top of it, so it's entirely specific to your own company. So I like the open weight push more and more and more, especially for larger corporations who don't want their data, going somewhere, awry. So that's number two. Number three is, Joseph was mentioning this, how come they're not getting dinged for using more compute? Well, they are. They absolutely are. And they're subsidizing this. So you're going to get this 90 to 98% off initially. So it's going to be huge, steep markdowns by Baba to get the ball rolling and to get the users on this thing. So absolutely they are subsidizing it, Joey. And then last but not least, this is a response, in my opinion, as I was saying to Adair this morning, to Kimi by Moonshot. Kimi comes out, theirs is already open weight. It's doing fantastic. A lot of Westerners are using it because it allows you to do these cybersecurity patches that Fable and Mythos won't let you do because they don't want to be used the other way. So here's Baba's response, and now we're seeing the Chinese compete with each other, not just competing with the Americans.
That's how. But listen, man, that's going to be the narrative of this race. There's a company, I can't remember the name of it. It's not Hive. It's not Hade. Anyways, there's a company that scans through all these models and finds the cheapest alternative for you.
Cool.
I can't. It's really frustrating that I can't remember it because I watched a CNBC bid on it not too long ago. All right, you ready for some Amazon here, brother? You want to talk?
It's $3 trillion.
Yeah. All right. It's $3 trillion. Okay, you want to talk Visa?
4.5.
You want to talk Visa?
Not really, bro.
What do you want to talk? What do you want to talk about?
That's all we got. Watch list.
Okay, go through yours.
Micron. Let's talk about Micron today. Very interesting report. Not report, of course, but we did get an aggressive sell-off in the chips. They were all negative here to start the morning. But as we can see, everything's kind of turning around. Let's bring in the old watch list to see what's green, what's red in the old semiconductor names. You see, the majority of the prints here are green with a couple of red names. WDC and SK Hynix continue to suffer. The standout, though, to me anyway, the one that is absolutely bucking the trend, because Micron's flat. It's up 0.11. Look at SanDisk.
Yeah, SanDisk is.
SanDisk is at freaking days high right now.
It's hit the heavy.
It's up 5 3/4.
It was hit the heaviest.
It was hit the heaviest.
Yeah,
okay, that does make sense.
It was hit the heaviest.
Your friend over here, Joey.
Yeah.
Texas Instruments, they're negative as well. 2.91. You got the likes of NXPI as well, negative. But then you have, Vertiv up 7.5. Cerebras or Cerebras up 9.5. Applied. Good look here for Applied Digital, up 7.5% as well. So it is a big mixed bag. I would say the one that is catching my attention is Nvidia at the day high, 208.33 options, man. Back above 5 trillion, back above, or back as, I would say, the #1 market cap company in the world. And it is up 3 3/4 today.
It's up bigly. It's up bigly today, man, as it's continuing to move higher. Yeah, listen, guys. I mean, when it comes to this space, we talk about bottlenecks, right? Why didn't I go? I know you don't listen, Linda, listen. I know. Should have been long from the get-go. All right. Anyways, never mind any of that. Anyways, we know in regards to onshoring Micron, great American company, Mr. Donald Trump himself. Fantastic stuff. Now, for this memory and this storage chip game here, we have the bottleneck that is proceeded to last until maybe late 2027, 2028. When you just go on these parabolic runs, things do tend to cool off a little bit. Sharif give you the percentage metrics and how SanDisk was hit the heaviest. Well, we'll go do something from peak to trough, right? So what we will take a look at here is Micron, and at what point, how much was it down? Did you do that already, Sharif? How much it was down off of the highs? 34%, right? So if we're thinking that we're gonna have just this form of a pullback and a continuation and what this primary trend and this insane breakout from April 2026 is gonna go through, then by all means, I think now is a good opportunity. Now we're up 5% in SanDisk, almost 6%, but don't forget the stock was almost cut, it was cut more than in half. That is insane. Right? So you go from $2,300 all the way to $985. That's post previous quarter's earnings price. All right, where it was $1,000, dip below, and then just went absolutely nuts. When you find these names and you have something that's been on such a monstrous run, pull back 60%, and you think that it's going to continue, don't go all in once, as we typically say. I don't think this is a bad area to start getting a little bit of a feel in some of these memory storage.
I don't have anything, Sia. Yes, just give me 1 second. Options.
Yeah, man. Joe, can you please?
We are on SpaceX now, Sia. So we're going to go into SpaceX here. I know it's not on your notes, but we're going to do SpaceX
Fabian?
here. So, guys, we're just going to go ahead. SpaceX reports its first quarterly earnings since its blockbuster IPO, with investors kind of focused less on the headline numbers and more on Starlink's growth, its profitability, as well as Elon Musk's long-term roadmap for the company. Analysts here are expecting another strong quarter driven by expanding satellite subscriptions. We'll have more on that in a second, as well as record launch activity. We've been talking about their launch cadence really picking up, as well as continued government contracts, which this company very much still relies on. It's not entirely on its own 2 feet via the commercial route. We're also looking for commentary around AI now that this is a full-fledged AI company. How about Starship? When should we expect that to be kind of en masse or produced en masse? And the potential Tesla partnership that could move the stock more than the financial results themselves. Of course, a big merger there. With the stock already well below its post-IPO highs, the report really will determine whether SpaceX can kind of justify its premium valuation and kind of reignite that momentum we saw in the first few trading days. I'll give you an opportunity to comment here before I make my own comments.
On SpaceX?
Yeah.
Why?
I got comments, baby.
You don't want to just finish your thing? I'll go off. All right, you want to? Okay, no problem. No, listen. I think this is a name that we have to remain forward-looking in. We talk about the total addressable market, and it was just an insane number brought to you by CNBC and other analysts, like $16 trillion. But if you actually break everything down and get under the hood, the majority of that is coming from XAI and Starlink. All right, Starlink is the real money maker right now. What I'm going to be paying attention to, never mind all that space stuff. Listen, him and Sam Altman going back and forth on. It's funny that they go back and forth against each other on Elon's platform. I think it's actually kind of.
I figured Altman would go like blue sky.
But he was taking a shot, dude. He was taking a shot, saying, yeah, keep selling people this false narrative and this dream of putting data centers in space. But one here specifically, and myself watching a lot on like how far away are we actually from putting these chips into space? It's not around the corner, but we're significantly closer than what people are anticipating. Now, getting it there is the cost. That's another story. But I wouldn't say it's a Tesla story where it's like 15 years away, 10 years away, like it was before COVID. I think we're significantly closer. And right now, what we have a driver of this company, it's going to be Grok, XAI, and Starlink. That's what you have to really pay attention to, in my opinion.
I think Altman was pressing him on the longevity of these data centers.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was about his ability or lack thereof to put them into space. But what I said at the time was, you don't think anybody who is investing hundreds of millions of dollars or whatever your fortune is understands that the data centers in space have a 5 to 7 year window in the same way that the same Starlink low Earth orbit satellites have that same 5 to 7 year window. He never lied to anybody about that. He said that these things would be up in perpetuity. He never said that. So what the hell is Altman talking about here?
Which is totally fair, but again, it comes to cost, right? Right now, you don't have the cost essentially to send it all up there.
It's expensive.
Extremely expensive. Yeah. Now, there's a couple of different things that come into play in the fact that, hey, building a data center is extremely expensive, so you have all those costs. You're paying all these employees to send it, as opposed to sending a rocket ship up there and letting it float into low Earth orbit.
No, Frank Rizzo, you're misunderstanding, brother. I'm talking about the longevity of the satellite in space, not 5 to 7 years to put a satellite in space. I think I was very clear on that.
Yeah.
Moving on.
It might be closer. Honestly, 5 to 7.
I think it's going to be in a couple of years.
Yeah,
but
it's
anyway,
going to be. Look up the company StarCloud. Look up
All right,
StarCloud.
so let's talk a little bit about this, guys. So listen to this. SpaceX's AI segment, $818 million in revenue, $2.5 billion in operating losses. That's unsustainable unless something else can kind of pick it up. Starlink is what's picking it up here. Starlink generated $3.26 billion in revenue and $1.19 billion in profit. Giving you an idea, this is a high margin business, but it is essentially cross-subsidizing both the loss-making space launch Starship division as well as the AI infrastructure blitz. How many things can Starlink actually prop up? especially since, while they are increasing their users, but their average revenue per user is down. So they did increase their users that are using Starlink 106% year over year, right? They've got 10.3 million users. But as I mentioned in the morning with Adara, the average revenue per user is dropping. Two reasons for that. One, they are going into non-US markets where the premium is less. And two, they are it's more B2C than B2B. They need the B2B to have basically enterprises adopt Starlink en masse, like airlines and whatever else, for them to be able to charge the high premiums. They're not going to be able to charge individual consumers as high of a premium as they would a business. So average revenue per user continues to drop. That compresses margins. Another thing to think about there. And then just 2 days after SpaceX reports, so tomorrow's the 4th, they report, and then on the 6th, 912 million shares will become eligible for trading, so the lockup period.
Yeah.
And then, Joey, it's not going to be the end of the matter. Another 319 million shares are going to be unlocked the following week. So we could get a lot of downward pressure, unless there's somebody else on the other side of that bid on SpaceX as people look to offload. Now, we did talk about, the Austin area having a shortage, at least in the short term, of, premium $1-2 million homes, as people were looking to buy a home with the windfall that they were going to kind of receive vis-a-vis, the sale of these shares. So something to think about there. And then how can we forget about Anthropic, man? They're getting $1.25 billion from the Claude and Co. to rent out some data centers.
1.25? Mm-hmm. That's kind of light, though.
Billion per month?
Okay, yeah, no, I thought you said the total
good,
deal.
Joey.
Yeah, $1 billion per month isn't bad.
And that deal is through May of 2029.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like Anthropic, these frontier models are signing with everybody who can give them compute.
Well, exactly.
Same thing with Meta. But yeah, listen, as for those shares, I already put my point up there. But as for unlocking all of these shares, we're going to have to be, doesn't mean as soon as you have the ability to sell, it doesn't mean people are going to, but you just have to be extremely cautious. I think we should have, me personally, I'm just thinking out loud, is that the fact I think we should have waited until after this period, because it really only did come to market a couple months ago. So,
Great.
I mean, because it's getting destroyed. The stock's down 50% from that all-time.
All right, let's go on to the next name. We're just going to talk about cybersecurity names. So cybersecurity names, are they still green? They were green in the morning. Let's see here. Pandub up 3 1/3, Crowd up 4 1/3, FTNT, which has been good, right? Flat on the day. Zscaler up 2 1/4. Good look there. So these cybersecurity names, they remain one of the market's strongest AI themes. As investors, they're increasingly expect these AI-powered attacks to drive years of elevated security spending. We've already gotten more information on the weekend that Anthropic's model kind of went rogue as well. In addition to Altman's model last week, we got more information on the Altman developments and what that model did. Not as much on Dario's, but we'll probably get more in the days and weeks to come. Palo Alto Networks, as well as CrowdStrike and Fortinet and Okta and Zscaler, a lot of these names, they have become major beneficiaries of this kind of security fear, with analysts forecasting 32% revenue growth this fiscal year, specifically for PanW, while multiple firms continue raising price targets ahead of their earnings reports. The investment thesis kind of has shifted beyond, the traditional cybersecurity, with these cybersecurity names kind of positioning themselves as AI-driven platforms, as a critical defense layer for enterprise, adapting into the AI era. Separately, we know the two leaders, CrowdStrike and PanW, they were part of that initial working group that Anthropic put together when their Mythos thing came out. And so they gave them first access to that, Joey. And, a lot of the people were thinking, they would be the leaders because they kind of caught the secret sauce.
Exactly. And that was going to be my question to you.
Ahead,
what was going on with Mythos and Dario. I think that would only allow these cybersecurity companies to get a little bit better, because if you can find where your loopholes are and where the issues are, where the data breaches could potentially be, then I think that would only make the company stronger, in my opinion anyways. So anyways, there's not much I can really say. Listen, as for CrowdStrike and these cybersecurity names, with more compute, I mean, more security, right? Like more tools, And as you get more integrated into this kind of AI world, you're going to need to protect that at some point. More data centers means more cybersecurity. And I think that's why these names who were hit so heavy during the SaaSmageddon found their merry way to all-time highs and just absolutely rebounded with vigor. And
you don't find the irony quite comical here in that they sold off almost like 50% correction, maybe even more if my memory serves me right, because of AI. And now they're up like 100% from those area lows, more if you're PanW. Because of AI. Like that irony isn't lost on you. It's just like a story one day, the other story the other.
It's kind of like what we've seen with DeepSeek, right? Even though the Chinese aren't using NVDA's chips, but it's like, how does DeepSeek run? Like you need to have the GPUs in order to do so, and who's creating them? So it's just like, okay, yeah, you have the initial market panic, and then they come to the realization that, all right, yeah, we've undervalued these, and you don't really understand the structure of them.
Well said. Well said. All right, let's go on to GameStop. So it was negative this morning. Let's see where it's at right now. Oh, it didn't get any better. It's down 13.5, and it's SSR. It's lost $20, trading at $18.80. So GameStop fell more than 10% right now, 13.42, after announcing a $1.4 billion exchange of convertible notes into common stock, a move, according to analysts, that's aimed at reducing their debt without using cash. That's what they're trying to do here. While the transaction strengthens the balance sheet by cutting about $1.4 billion of long-term debt, investors, though, they kind of remain focused on the dilution risks, as well as questioning the management's overall or broader capital allocation strategy, especially following, that recent eBay investment debacle, which I submit to you, I don't think it's quite done yet. The announcement does add another layer of uncertainty ahead of the September earnings, with the stock breaking fresh 52-week lows. Any comment before I dive?
Yeah, I mean, listen, what's going on with Ryan Cohen? He obviously wants to buy the company. He believes he can do a much better job in regards to the e-commerce factor, and I think that's what makes it really attractive to him at this point. The majority of us has watched the interview. He was on Bloomberg as well too. Half cash, half stock is the deal. And with that being said, I think this is something that we should have been prepared for, Sharif, because he was telling that, hey, we're going to dilute. And listen, I don't know if he still hasn't heard anything from eBay upper management, but he's going to do it regardless. And he's going to leave it into the shareholders' hands. He said it. He's already got a 10% or under 10%, doesn't he?
I think he has around 10.
Yeah, around 10% stake in eBay. He'll do a hostile takeover and leave it up to the shareholders to see if it's even worth it. He stated that.
President Trump will do everything possible to help FIFA president. Oh, my days. Gianni Infantino survived the mounting calls for his resignation, according to a senior admin official who said Infantino helped deliver, quote, the best World Cup ever, that the president likes him a lot and will do everything possible to help him, adding that he is a loyal person. This is being reported by The Telegraph. Of course, we are talking about the failed attempt by Infantino to kind of sell off parts of the World Cup tournament to PE, which was really met with an aggressive response, mostly from UEFA, the European regulator, but it did get widespread condemnation from CONCACAF as well as the Asian FA as well. I forget the name of it. They didn't go far, though, as far as to say that they would boycott the tournament. That was more the Europeans who put their foot down there. So interesting look there.
They really don't like this FIFA guy, the president of FIFA, eh?
Yeah, these business and sport, right? They're intertwined, but people don't like it.
Yeah, people don't like it. Yeah, all right.
All right, let's talk about GameStop here. So the final dilution count, we don't even know what that is yet. We don't even know exactly how much the exact amount of common shares they're going to be newly issued will be determined by the average volume-weighted average price. The average volume-weighted average price over a 35 consecutive day reference period, and that will start from today, August 31st, 2026, and that is subject to a per share price floor, which I don't know what it is. So if you're looking at VWAP and you want to know exactly what the share dilution is going to be without the company telling you, you are looking at VWAP from today onwards. 35 consecutive trading days and what the average VWAP is going to be there. That's for the GameStop headline. Any more things before we move on?
No, that's it.
Let's move on. I'm going to skip the Chinese EV deliveries because you had XPEV and Li Auto both deliver today. Let's see where they're both at right now. Maybe they are interesting to talk about. You got Li Auto down 3.6 and XPEV down 4.8. So market not taking that well either. Kind of just skip over that.
Yeah.
Lowe's is not important either.
We just get right into trading again here. There's a couple go through it because it's a light news punch today. Exactly. So what we're gonna do here, Karoni, we'll get involved with that momentarily. I mean, we did a little bit of a move. Now, it's just really important to know GameStop, the dilution, it's not looking too good. But here's SanDisk, right? Because you've been asking very kindly, and you super chatted and then asked us not to read it, but that's fine. We're not going to. SNDK, let's see what we got going on here. Now, this was a name that was hit the heaviest. It was down 60% off of its highs from the peak to this local low here to around 999 bucks. We'll call it 1,000 flat. As soon as you sit on the backside now of this trend, then I think you'll have the ability to go. Where are your targets? It's extremely difficult to determine, right? Like it was such a blowout quarter in my opinion. When it was Sean and I believe, and Idara was with us as well too. When we reported this, it was just fantastic numbers, and I think that's going to be the narrative for the next couple of quarters, right? So you have backlog as well that needs to be taken into consideration. So with that being said, just be patient and allow things to kind of form. Considering we were so strong, once this downtrend is broken and you have another candle sit on the back side of it, I think you'll have a chance for a bounce. Does that mean all-time highs? No. Just be cautious of this, right? So you have a clear downtrend break. This is the example that I'm going to use for us right now. It took a couple of attempts for it to finally clear, but you can see trendline break, you're on the back side of things, and then it takes a wicked move lower, eventually finds its way on it, and it's on its road to recovery, and now you're back to where you were before because there's a clear supply zone right at this 374 marker. Just be careful of the trendline break, a couple of days of strong PA, and then a move lower. I don't believe that's going to be the case because of where we stand in this whole cycle, in this whole AI cycle, all right? So there's a couple other names. Guys, if you wanted me to go over, just put it in the chat. But an absolute monstrous session. So I forget what exactly happened here, but we're not going to call this disaster or anything, but you're down 6%. Now you're up you're up more than 3.5% here in NVDA. I think at some point, as soon as we sit on the same thing, as soon as you sit above $210 and this congestion zone right here, I think we can head towards that all-time high. I need to buy a lot more if that's the case, but I would like to get some more around the 190s. I did bring up the fact that, hey, I thought we were going to head into this void, which would be around 180, but this support system and this structure holding up really well, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to get the price, obviously, unless you're selling CSPs. Hypercube, I found a vendor for sushi grade tilapia in Toronto. If their crew's interested on me, man, you're crazy. Yeah, I know, Taylor Batty, why do you got to keep rubbing it in? I'm typically long. Let's send it over to Adara.
Just keep an eye here on the market, currently near intraday highs. President Trump just started speaking. He's speaking here, signing an executive order related to military families, not anything directly related to the market, but if there is anything of note that comes from the speech, if he says anything related to potentially the conflict, if there's a Q&A, I'll keep you guys posted. Back to you.
Cool.
No, I don't think so, man.
I'm watching DFNS. It's still hanging out near high. So it got to 67.80. But that was on a quick wick. So let's just say an 68 touch. I would say, though, that the seller keeps coming in at 65. So even though we did have that big move up, take a look at the 5-minute chart, bottom of your screen, no closing prints above 65, and then take a look at the top of your screen, which is the 1-minute chart. You can see all the wicks go into 65, saving except for these two over here. So I'd like to see what this one does. I don't want to pick it up off 62, even though that's very obvious a range. 62 support, 65 resistance, but I think we probably fail. Maybe in the 60, or 58. Look at the prolonged action here at 58. So if 60 doesn't hold, I'm definitely interested at 58 on DFNS, up 126%. It's been great ever since it took out that double top at around 55. And clearly, it's gone $12 past that. So Something to keep an eye out there. We're almost at about 10 million shares, 9.4 million traded on the day. This is a very spready name. It's almost $1 wide right now, 30 on the bid, about 45 on the ask there as it just obviously changes. But yeah, 60 to 58 buy zone for me. If it takes out 67, then obviously I was wrong here, but I'm definitely looking at a range established 62 to 65, but I don't pick it up off 62. I wait until possibly 60 to 58. So that's what I'm looking at the moment. I feel that that is the best of the bunch with really little else doing anything. Ritter did lure in some longs here, and I hate to put it that way because maybe you were one of the people who got lured in, but there was a 33 seller of note and has continued to have that 33 seller. Look at all these 5-minute candles all kind of reject 33 before the big drop into about 26.5. So RITR, look, it's still, in play here. The trend is still there. That trend line has been holding, but unless you're picking it up off area lows and riding it into area highs, if you're punching in at the high, you've been sorely disappointed with this one. But if you bought it at the lows, then you've definitely liked what you've done on the day. So RITR in focus, SXTC's garbage, HYFM is even more garbage. CCXI, that SPAC, continues to hang out at area highs. Still don't know why this is up. 1558 high, showing 47s now. It's a good stair step up structure despite its lack of volume. So CCXI in focus here. And then, MGN, we had a really good trade on that one, Joey, but it's bled its own blood all the way down here. 31 penny high, now showing 17 3/4. That ain't the move. So a lot of weakness right now in small cap gapper world. There's only been, a couple of good ones on the day, but that's kind of the way it works, buddy.
Yeah, it's the way it goes. Yo, bro, your bro is crazy. Anyways, your favorite stock is up 1-point-something%.
Me?
Yeah, your favorite stock.
Netflix?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, time to buy.
Yeah, I got to buy that.
I'm buying with both hands.
Hand over fist?
Hand over fist,
That's
baby.
crazy. Well, okay, let me ask you this. Would you rather buy McDonald's or
anything else?
McDonald's or Netflix?
That's a good
It's a good question.
Yeah. Neither.
Two completely.
Do I have to choose?
Neither.
Neither. Like, they're just neither is my cup of tea.
Yeah,
right?
I feel you. JPM up here. It was started. I believe it started the day pretty positive. Almost tapped into that all-time high there. But once again, the airlines are on fire. Who is this?
Fire.
Boeing. Yeah, watch out,
Fire,
man. I think this is the time that we can finally say.
Fire.
I don't want to say it too early, but I do believe we can hop out of some turbulence here with Boeing and then maybe head towards that all-time. Well, you don't think so?
No, the turbulence, Boeing.
It has been a turbulent name.
Yes, it has, but your selection of words is not lost on me.
Yeah.
I do like that.
Because you got to go on the plane soon.
No, because Boeing and turbulence.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, that was slightly intended there. But other than that, man, listen. Delta Airlines 3%, UAL 5.25.
Same more.
What is even going on here? Is that you're not even flying with United Airlines, Sharif? American Airlines even up 4.3%, and the cruise line's doing pretty well. It's just a green day across the board. Not wake me up when September. I don't know what's going on with Walmart, man. It is relatively expensive from a PE standpoint. I think we definitely have to take that into consideration, but I didn't think Costco was. Costco's still off of these all-time highs. And then when we had those couple of sessions where it was just bad and the memory and the storage names were just getting absolutely destroyed, I thought we would see more of a rotation into these key staple names. Target's been performing great, but the two the largest holdings within XLP haven't been doing much and are still down 13.5% off of the all-time highs. So it makes it a much tougher look. Nice work for Katina, man, on Target. I don't know how, I'm going to be honest, I have no idea how Target is performing like this, considering they've had multiple stints in Canada and have not been successful. That's pretty costly, I should say. This thing's at all-time highs of $150, man.
It's a lesson in context. So, clearly, they have a more receptive consumer to their pricing, to their product mix. We didn't here.
So you're saying, you're saying the lower end.
Everything. It could be cultural as well. They love Target.
They love Target, man. Didn't Zellers try to make a comeback?
I think. Well, yeah, they do have a few Zellers, but that was sold with the HSBC.
Oh,
IP,
was it?
Remember with the whole thing. Guys, 65 incoming here on DFNS, but let's cover newest bald gang. Initiate?
Okay.
Newest bull gang. What? Okay. He dropped 2 in the chat, and it's Canadian, so we're going to shout him out.
It's crazy.
Sharif, thought on SpaceX earnings tomorrow. So look, man, it's a tough one at the moment, right? Because when we're talking SpaceX, we're talking about a company that is very much in the growth phase, and they're still in the spending phase here, right? And this is going to present a problem, I think, if you're looking for profitability in the near term. I don't think we're going to see it. You're going to continue to get a lot of CapEx as a result of course, the XAI build-out, which doesn't show signs of slowing down. Now, it is a little bit, it's depressured a little bit. You remove some of the pressure here vis-a-vis the renting out of compute. We've seen him strike deals with Anthropic. I wonder if he strikes more deals with other frontier models. I just don't know who they would be. But I also want to hear more about, the success of the last SpaceX or Starship launch, right? It was able to deploy the payload that was sent up there with. That's the first time ever. Like if you've seen SpaceX, Starship, it's kind of like a Pez dispenser. It has this very, very kind of elongated, thin kind of exit gate built into the side of it, and it just projects these kind of rectangular looking satellites that open up when they're in orbit. So I want to know more about the version 3 of those, because that's how you're going to get global coverage and direct to cell service, right? By putting these new Starlink low Earth orbit satellites out there. So what's the launch cadence? When should we expect that kind of direct to cellular connectivity, at least, in the short to intermediate term? So that's what I would say there. And I also want to know if, he's going to be going after enterprise, specifically what kind of deals he's got with some airlines, because I want to hear more about Starlink doing B2B deals rather than B2C, because that's where the margins are, right? So those are some of the things that I'll be talking about there. Obviously, some things that he can't control, which is the lockup period that's coming out 2 days subsequent. We know about almost 1 billion shares are going to be unlocked on the 6th. Another 320 million shares or thereabouts next week as well. That's obviously going to have downward pressure on the price of the stock as people look to offload subsequent to the lockup period. So all things I'd be looking out for, and I don't even think that's not even close to an exhaustive list. How about you?
I was just messaging E. Lemon here in the chat saying, good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a while. All 26 of his names are green here today. Yeah, everything. Listen, there's a lot going on in regards to SpaceX. Tomorrow is the much anticipated report. I wouldn't be surprised if the market just hammers this thing. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if it moves in the other direction, really. So to me, it truly is a coin flip, maybe leaning more towards the south side on that one. Let's send it over to Adara.
We're going to take a look here at META. So this is part of a wider catalyst we've been talking about all day. Earlier this morning, the information reported that the White House is going to be hosting AI companies, including Google, OpenAI, and Anthropic, on Tuesday to review the AI framework. Now, we had heard earlier today that Meta was reportedly going to be one of the companies invited. Meta has now confirmed, according to a company spokesperson, that they were in fact invited. They have not said, though, if they're actually going to be attending this White House event tomorrow. So again, expect companies like Meta, Google, OpenAI, and Anthropic to have representation at this event on AI at the White House tomorrow. Back to you.
Doesn't Zuck usually send the CFO or something like that? So I remember he didn't go to China. He was one of the only ones who didn't go to China.
I remember that, yeah.
I
get why, though. Like, does he have the only presence Meta has in China is that Chinese advertisers who sell to North American customers advertise on the platform. Yeah. Otherwise, Meta's not allowed to have it.
They're not allowed to have
right?
any operation.
I want to mention one here that it took me a little bit of time to mention. NWL, like, it's not the best looking name, but it didn't break down either, right? Especially when it took out 6 1/3 and got into that 639 area. You figured like this one was going to be on its horse and at least get into 650, if not a little bit more. But it's very range bound here. Now, if you're able to pick it up off a good area, I'm thinking 605, 615, something around that red line, which is the 50 exponential moving average on the 5-minute chart, then hey, have at it. Or you can take the breakout look to wet the beak into the $0.50. But NWL in focus as well. But we have to be alive to the fact that DFNS is just $1 off the high of the day, 66.75. The high is 67.80. This one's back above the $65 range. Watch out, though.
this has been the range. We've been talking about 65 generally to the high side and about 62 to the low side. And look at it, just drop into 64, 63 areas. So interesting
still
there.
Going, man. Look at the market run here. Intel going off. Same thing with AMD now at the what happened? He doesn't. All right, you'll figure it out here relatively soon. But guys, AMD high of the day, Intel at the high of the day. Oh, SPY and the Nasdaq both at the high of the day. Google up 5% here. This is crazy. What an absolute monster of a move from GOOGL. Apple only down 1%. That's nothing to write home about. That's okay. Microsoft, again, another strong session. And I was saying this from before. I do believe we're on the path to break through and head towards the all-time high. Look at these 3 days in a row. That's crazy, right? So like at some from peak to trough, like you're down 35, 36%. In Microsoft. What is in this?
I've been instructed by Ramram to hold it straight.
And it has a note for
And there's a note.
36%.
Oh.
Yo, that is crazy.
I hate you, Ramram.
Is that what it?
Okay. I have to read this. I know it's a little
Thanks for
it's
that.
a little shiny. If I'm getting fat, ... Misery loves company. Y'all getting fat
Oh my
too,
God.
except y'all get a donut baby belly and I get the real.
Oh! Congratulations! Don't unplug. Oh, there goes the keyboard and everything. We give you. Is that what
I missed
everything was
everything.
going on? Wow! Everyone say congratulations.
I didn't even
in
hear
the
the story.
chat.
What happened?
Yeah. Oh,
Really?
wow.
Really?
Man,
Ram,
did everyone
you did
say
it, girl.
good
Good job, Ram.
Pregnant?
What
I called
happened to
that.
what happened? What happened to your? I thought you guys were just roommates.
She called him her roommate
What
last week, guys.
Yeah. That's
I'm
crazy. Yeah. Is that what this? Oh
so
man,
happy
this
for
one.
you,
That's
man.
crazy, man.
We're gonna have to have one now.
How long
Joey.
you gone for?
You guys get 4 more weeks with me and then I'm gone.
Do you want me to babysit?
Sure.
Yeah,
You trust Joe?
Yeah.
I would trust. I would,
That would be a good
I would trust
babysitter,
Joe.
man.
I would definitely trust.
Sean, you
Joe,
say you would trust me or no?
I would.
Oh yeah, thank my
I would.
God.
I was
joking
exactly.
about. Wow.
Milo
Well, we're
needs a
gonna have.
friend.
Yeah, we'll
I'm
have
gonna
one.
have
Which
one
one
of
you
the
having
pink
there?
ones
Yeah,
over
me
here,
too,
Joey. Let's
brother.
find out about
Actually,
these
you know what? I'll have a cinnamon over it. Actually, no, I'm going pink as
Oh,
well
my
too. Do we
days.
know gender?
Yeah, I guess.
Pink. It's a girl.
I mean, the box is
Boy.
pink. The box is
It's a
pink. I'd like to
boy.
hope.
It's a boy. Yeah.
You
let's
give us a
go.
pink box?
Yeah,
Why would I
come on,
pink
man. Come on,
icing?
man.
Donut store.
I don't know. I thought it were clues. I'm loving it, man.
How
This is the best
misleading is
surprise ever.
This is crazy.
Big
Wow.
Ram. We're so happy for you, girl. We're so happy for you, girl. Drop the keyboard and everything, Katina.
Everything went.
No, but
Over the
Neil and I, we weren't
We
even
were like,
paying
what's
attention.
going? We're like, what's going on?
Yard
And all of a sudden,
sale.
I heard that. and
Let me
it
get
didn't
one
really
more
get
of
a
those
chance to
there.
react.
Oh, it comes
Those
out.
were
That's amazing.
fantastic.
I mean,
Yeah, that's
Man,
fantastic.
10 out of
I'm
10.
so happy for her, bro.
Oh, yeah. Let me get one more of these pink here. You should have went with the blue icing, to be honest with you.
Customize.
Wait, crazy.
Can't customize the ice.
Congratulations.
Carbs are all
Carbs
good.
are
so
no-
we
Nah,
really-
the carbs are fine now, Katina.
We
man, 'cause
definitely
there's a
like
baby
that.
coming into
We
the
definitely
world
like
here,
that.
so
Listen,
good luck, man.
A little.
We're so happy for you, Ram
Mini
Ram, girl.
Ram Ram.
Like you're a sister
that's-
to us. You know that, right? And so
Another matcha drinker coming our way.
we're not gonna baby.
So happy.
Yeah.
Not that.
Yeah,
kind of baby.
this is my type of people.
But it says,
Yo,
it
Lisa
says,
says
if I'm
you're about
getting
to do
fat,
something
this
like
is what
Trump
it's-
accounts. For
Oh yeah, did
parents.
anyone read
Boy.
this?
No. These guys don't read it.
Absolutely.
Oh, they did read it. See, we weren't even paying attention.
Oh, you
Trump
did? Okay,
account.
well, I don't.
All right, Donald Trump. Iran talks are going
So
on now.
when is it?
When Iran is talking, they don't
expected?
like to say so. President Trump coming out with, I guess it was the
Wow.
truth. I don't know if it was the truth or no. He's live there. He looks like he's in the White House. He looks like he's in the Oval Office. And he's sitting, and everybody else is standing, as is usual.
Yeah.
So get him, Donald. But we're having a great time.
We got a month left of Ramin.
We got a month left of Ram, eh?
Yeah.
So we have to be extra mean to her
Great
now
dude.
because we're not going to be
Whoa.
able to be mean to her for a while.
I know, for a
Joey,
long
think
time.
about that, bro.
Yeah. Wow.
We're kidding, of course. We
Yeah.
we love Ram like a sister, man. She's a sister at all of us over here, and We couldn't be happier.
Yeah, I couldn't be
I
happier.
can't wait to see the baby.
Yeah,
in
can't
the
bring him
office,
in
right?
here
Like,
and stuff.
Ram, have you decided on a name or no? Not yet. Okay, cool. Nothing yet.
No,
Besides the ultrasound.
That's it. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're off to a great start here. But no, in all seriousness, bring him in. We'll get him reading level 2 in the time of sales and pick right out of the gate, picking some good quality stock.
All right, Katina, man.
All right, man, they're
We're
ready.
going to send it off to you guys, but before we do, guys, DFNS is absolute. Where the hell is my DFNS chart, man? Joey.
It's 201, my boy.
Yeah, that's fine. DFNS. Guys, it's into day high, 69.75. DFNS is up 146%. It's on the precipice of passing 10 million shares traded on the day. I don't think this is halted up all morning. Trade it carefully as we get into $70. Yeah. And if you're into this kind of thing, watch this one after 4 o'clock, okay? It could absolutely rip, if it doesn't already, into $100 as the volatility halts will be dropped. Ram, you're getting love in the chat.
Yeah, pure love.
We're dropping 25 here. Durham's, I think that's, what is that? AED, what is that?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's
Durham's, right?
It's about $50.
Congrats, Ram. It's said that the baby learns what you see and hear every day. So we expect baby to be a top-notch trader. I like that one right there, man. We love you. Thank you very much for the comment there. And but she's obviously not watching me trade. She's talking about the big boys over there, Neil and Sean, who you guys are going to see in 3 seconds. Send them off, Joey.
Yeah, all right, man. I hope everyone has a fantastic one. Once again, congratulations to Ramin and her husband, roommate, I guess I should say. No, in all seriousness, her husband. No, fantastic stuff. It's always a good thing to hear, and couldn't be more happy for her.
Okay, guys.